It is a warm and beautiful afternoon here in South Florida, in Tampa, at the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium, as we bring you the class of 2023 Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, a chance for student athletes from all across the country to showcase their talents on their way to the next level. Welcome inside Raymond James Stadium. I'm Ryan Castle. That's Jesse Hawley. And Jesse, again, just such a special opportunity for these players to be coached up by NFL coaches in the home of the Tampa Bay Bucs.
Absolutely. Talk about special. As a young kid, you dream about playing in these type of situations, and now these kids have an opportunity to, in part, on their way to the next level. So playing here in Raymond James Stadium to showcase their tremendous talent in hopes to continue their athletic careers at the next level.
Couple of guys to look for on both sides today as the North takes on the South. First for Team North, Jelon Johnson, a running back out of Virginia, had a great senior season with over 13 touchdowns. He can really run the football well.
Yeah, absolutely. Talk about a guy who can score from the inside, from the outside. You give him the ball anywhere in the football field, and he's a home run waiting to happen. So it's going to be special to watch a guy like that out here today.
And for Team South, the guy that Jelon Johnson may run into is linebacker Alec Hall. He runs a 4.6 40 from the linebacker position, and we're going to see him all over the football today.
Absolutely. You talk about the skill position guys now, running backs, receivers, tight ends, how they can run all over the football field. Well, this is a guy who will be able to run with them. You want that from your linebacker, to be able to run sideline to sideline and to run these fast athletes down. It's going to be a great opportunity for both of these young athletes to go out there and display their special talents in this Blue-Gray All-American game today.
Go, Ryan.
So the opening kickoff will be sent away by the North team. They're wearing the blue jerseys today. Michael Calton from Manalapan High School in New Jersey sends one high and deep, and we are underway here in South Florida on a beautiful afternoon for some high school football. We're glad you're with us. And the South team will be starting at its own 25-yard line. Well, Jesse, we could not have asked for better weather. I know we're at the end of January, but you'd have no idea based on what we're experiencing here this weekend in Tampa.
You know, normally they say 40, 50 degrees is football weather. RC. This is football weather. 80 degrees in January. Sign me up any day of the week. I love to go out here and see if I can run a couple routes myself.
So the South team will start from its own 25-yard line. We'll see pretty standard formations all afternoon long from both teams. And on the first play from scrimmage, a handoff and a running play, and a good job by the North defense to get there and make the tackle. Nehemiah Hunter from South Granville High School in North Carolina, a linebacker, in on the stop after a short gain.
You know, and when we watch these games, Ryan, we're always looking for the spectacular plays. We're always looking for the splash plays. But a lot of times when it comes down to the nitty-gritty of it, is you want to be able to see teams run the football. You want to see guys tackle. You want to see the fundamentals of football on full display because, again, all these guys are trying to find themselves at the next level and give themselves an opportunity to play the game of football. And you do that by doing the fundamental things each and every time on the football field.
That was Mason Bowman who got the last carry. Caden Anderson is playing quarterback on this first series for the South. And a handoff on second down up to about the 30-yard line, and that's going to be it. And it's actually Quinn Neiman, I beg your pardon, Quinn Neiman from Lake Minneola High School in Florida, who right now is running things for Team South at the quarterback position, and they're looking at a 3rd and 5 from their own 30-yard line.
And one thing that we want to mention about these games where you talk about being able to go from the classroom to the football field, these guys only had a couple days together to put in offense and defense. So you're going to see some wristband stuff. You may even see some mistakes, but they've done a tremendous job, coaches and players, of getting the information to each other and being able to go out there and distribute it on the football field.
So 3rd and 5 for Team South in the first drop back of the game. And Neiman will roll to his left. A penalty flag comes in as Neiman goes out of bounds, short of a first down at around the line of scrimmage. But we'll wait and see what this penalty is back at around the 26-yard line.
And normally that penalty usually comes when they throw it in the middle of the field where the big guys are at. That's usually where offensive holding happens right there. So this is probably going to come back 10 yards on an offensive holding, and they'll play that game again. But, you know, talk about these athletes, man. There's just so many young athletes. You look at, forecasting these guys wanting to get to college and wanting to get to the league. You think about how important high school football is. Look at the way the NFL is being played today. Shotgun football, RPOs, all those type of things. That's because your quarterback and your athletes are playing that style of football right now in high school. So you got to kind of almost have that transition from high school to college into the pros, and you're seeing it on full display today.
That penalty was declined by the North, and so it'll be 4th down and time to punt for the South. Dominic Roletter, a defensive lineman, was the one getting after the quarterback Neiman on that 3rd down play and forced him out of bounds short of the line to gain. And so now a chance to punt for the South team. This is Daniel Hull, who gets away a good punt. And it will bounce at the 20-yard line. It's going to roll inside the 10 and be downed at about the 5-yard line. An incredible flip-flop punt there from Daniel Hull. And the North will be backed up to start its first drive back inside their own 10.
Absolutely. Incredible punt. One of the rules here we have in the blue-gray game is you can't rush the punter. You saw he kind of bobbled the snap, dropped it, picked it up, but he had a booming punt that gave the team, his team, great field position right now. A ball backed up on the 5-yard line. A 95-yard drive will ensue after that. But special teams, we'll talk a lot about it today. From the punting to the receiving part of this thing, it can definitely turn football games.
And as a punt returner, we've seen this a couple of times where they will not field the punt, and you see it bounce and earn some extra field position for the punting team, and that time about 15 extra yards on the bounce and roll down to the 5-yard line as Team North hands it off on 1st down for a gain of a couple. And this is Demir Asheru, the quarterback from Plainfield North High School in Illinois. He's a MAC target and a good-looking prospect. With a slot on the right, he's going to throw. That pass is going to be caught, and not much of a gain after the catch as the receiver lost his footing. That was number 80, Torrance Washington, up from New York State on the reception, but not much of a gain. It'll set up 3rd down and 7.
And again, I go back to, you see this kind of like almost 2-minute kind of situation. Not a huddle, huddle, get back to the line of scrimmage, get the play call in, and run it quickly, trying to catch the defense out of wax.
Asheru with a play fake is going to step up into the pocket, throws off of his back foot deep, and has a man all alone for a catch at the 50. And this will be a touchdown for Torrance Washington on a blown coverage, and Asheru found him for an 87-yard touchdown.
What a great play. You see the quarterback maneuver in the pocket, finds some open space, steps up. Someone dropped off. The cornerback dropped off the coverage. Quarterback stays alive, finds a receiver down the field wide open. Now, there's a difference between being open, wide open, and wide open. He was wide open for a huge touchdown early in this football game. Team North, pending this extra point, will be up 7-0.
I believe that was Jalen Townsend, actually, who made the reception, 82, from Beecher High School in Michigan. He's also a MAC target. And you're right, Jesse. He was wide open. Nobody within 30 yards of him. And the extra point by Michael Calton is up and good. And just like that, a 95-yard drive that ends in a touchdown for Team North. So we will return to Raymond James Stadium, where Team North leads the South 7-0. Michael Calton going to kick it off. Still early in this first quarter, but Team North has taken an early lead on a long touchdown pass from Demir Asheru to Jalen Townsend. It was a 95-yard drive, and the kickoff by Calton will go through the back of the end zone. The South will be starting at its own 25-yard line. And you mentioned this, Jesse, but I love Demir Asheru's composure in the pocket as we take another look at this touchdown.
Yeah, composure in the pocket, breaks down. I buy myself some time. Look, eyes staying down the field, and when you have your eyes down the field, good things happen. And the receiver, he's from Michigan. It's pretty cold in Michigan. When you come out here to South Florida, your limbs tend to thaw out a little bit, and you can run a little bit faster. 82 yards later for a touchdown.
So the North with an early lead. By the way, this is the 9th game for Blue-Gray All-American Bowls here in this stadium. The North and the South have split the first 8. And on first down, the South throwing, and the pass incomplete off of the hands of James McGinn, a quarterback from First Academy right here in Florida. So he's a little more accustomed to the conditions that we're experiencing here today. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And sometimes with these young quarterbacks, you talk about the mechanics, right? A lot of these guys want to be all arm. But sometimes the simple throws, right? Get your hips in place, step through, and throw to where he's going, not where he's been, for a better pass and completion.
And on 2nd down, McGinn will hand off over the right side for not much of a gain. That Team North front doing an excellent job of attacking the ball carrier there for a gain of maybe 1 to bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, you want 11 guys to the football. You hear coaches harp about that all the time. Hey, I need 11 hats to the football. Get there fast, get there physical, get there violently. And that's what you see early on in this football game. You've seen a lot of guys to the ball carrier, not just trying to hit guys, but actually hit and wrapping up and bringing down the ball carrier.
Christian Barney is a good-sized linebacker at 205 pounds who made that last tackle. And the South in danger now of going 3 and out for the 2nd time to start this game. And movement up front here. It looked like the North maybe came across into the neutral zone. We'll see if the officials agree with that, and they do. And so that will make this a much more manageable 3rd down situation, 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, nothing frustrates coaches offensively and defensively more than pre-snap penalties. For a defensive guy, you shouldn't be worried about the snap count. Your focus, your sole focus is looking in at the football. You don't move until it moves. And a good quarterback who has a good count, hut, gets you to kind of jump off sides every now and again. You saw that right there, free 5 yards for Team South.
We'll see what they do here on 3rd and 4. They want to hand off, and there is just no space for Deontay Burgess, the running back from Mulberry High School here in Florida. He is tackled for no gain, and the South will go 3 and out for the 2nd time to start this game.
RC, when you watch this play, right, they're running a little bit of an RPO. Watch how many hats get there. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. I mean, there's 5 or 6 hats to the ball carrier right now. And that's what you want as a defense. I want a bunch of guys to the football. I want to eliminate all the air space out of there. And we want to meet at the ball carrier, have a party at the ball carrier, and now you get to 4th down and you have to punt the ball away.
Well, that series for Team North was the Christian Barney show as he made that tackle again on 3rd down. Now the punt by Hull. His first effort was downed inside the 5. This one will be fair caught at the 27-yard line. And that's where Team North will take over with a 7-0 lead. Their defense looking good early. And they got a long touchdown pass from Demir Asheru to Jalen Townsend. If you're just turning us on, a beautiful throw and catch on a blown coverage. And now the North will send Courtney Davis, a big quarterback at 6'6" and 215 pounds from Wise High School in Maryland. The coaches were high on him in practice this weekend here in South Florida. And so we'll have our first opportunity to see what Courtney Davis has from the quarterback position. He's going to hand off on 1st down. Good push over on the right side of the offensive line and up to the 31-yard line for a gain of 5.
And as you begin to start these drives, right, the difference is every series you're getting a new group of players that come in there, new quarterback, new running back, new receiver. So you always want to start out ahead of the sticks. What do I mean? Getting positive yards. A run on 1st down for 5 yards sets up, 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6. That's a much more manageable down than if you have to do 2nd and 9, 2nd and 10.
Andrew Swisher got that last carry. Trey Corbin now the running back in the backfield. And Davis will throw, and that pass a little behind the intended receiver, Luke Yoder. Davis with a quick release on that football, but the incompletion will set up 3rd down.
a little nerve set in. You know, it's your first series. A lot of times you want to have your quarterback get easy throws right in front of him. Got to just settle down a little bit. Settle down, young fella. Allow your mechanic to take over. Set your feet. See the target. You know where he's going to be. Don't try to lay the ball there. Just throw it, and it'll get there just the way it's intended to do.
We'll see if the North goes back to the air. Rodney Beasley, the offensive coordinator, calling the plays on 3rd and 5. Davis, quick throw to the right side is caught. That's a first down across the 40 and a seam across midfield to the south 40-yard line. On that catch, Tyree Holloway out of Northside High School in North Carolina. Jesse, just a simple screen pass to the right, but Holloway with the yards after the catch.
Yeah, this is a tunnel screen right here, and you want the tunnel screen. We call it the railroad tracks. You want that thing to hit right up on top of those numbers so that the offensive linemen are either kicking guys out or pinning guys down, and the receiver gets up the field, right up those railroad tracks, up the numbers. Great gain right there for Team North.
And the North will hand it right back to Andrew Swisher on first down, and he promptly picks up 9 yards to the south 30. So Team North up 7-0, driving the ball now on south side of the field. Swisher gets it right back, and will have enough for a first down on second effort to the south 28-yard line. And one thing I've noticed, Jesse, is that the North is going a bit faster offensively, getting the play in a little faster than the south side is.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go back to that tunnel screen, though. You talk about what makes a great screen, it's the timing, RC. I don't want my lineman to get out too fast before my receiver actually catches the ball. I want it to mesh very well, and that's why you have that landmark of, hey, 2 steps up, come back down the trail, allow those linemen to push those guys out, and you get up right behind them, get north and south, find that seam, and you get a great gain, what you saw in that last play.
Davis will throw here on first down. Pressure comes, and he gets rid of it. That pass will be caught, held on to by Holloway down around the 20. Nice acrobatic catch by Tyree Holloway, and a gain of 9 to set up second and short.
All right, quarterback settled in some. Now they're moving the pocket. He's staying poised and composed, keeping his head downfield. And that's a trait that a lot of young quarterbacks don't have. When they begin to scramble and run, they sometimes drop their head and miss what's opening up in the field of play. But these young quarterbacks are doing a great job of keeping their head up and down the field.
And Trey Corbin this time will get the carry. He'll have enough for a first down and then some, down to around the 10-yard line. Corbin is out of Bruton High School in Virginia at 5'11", 195, and we take a look here, running right between the tackles.
And that up-tempo offense has been a huge advantage to Team North right now. Why? You can't sub guys in and out. So these defensive linemen got to stay on the field. They're gassed a little bit, and now you're able to pick up those yards in between the tackles.
Fake handoff here by Davis, and Davis will score over the right side. A quarterback keeper, Courtney Davis, to the end zone with a 10-yard touchdown run, and the North in front now 13-0. That was a great read there by Courtney Davis, and a great decision to keep it. And he went untouched, 10 yards to the house.
Yeah, this is what you get when you've got that RPO working for you all day long. Those linebackers begin to cheat, and begin to cheat a little bit more. And now you pull it out, and you have the quarterback running out the backside for a wide open touchdown run, untouched touchdown run. That was just a great display of offense for Team North. They used their tempo, they used their strengths, they used their quarterback. They had a little bit of everything working for them on that drive right there.
Michael Calton did try and tack on the extra point to give the North a 14-point lead. And he will, with still over 9 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Warm and sunny South Florida. And right now, the North enjoying all of it, up 14-0.
To 0. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Check 1 2 1 2.
Back here in Tampa, 14-0 Team North with the lead. They have had 2 drives and 2 touchdowns so far. Courtney Davis orchestrating a drive that brought Team North all the way down the field and ended with his 10-yard touchdown run. And now the kickoff will go 8 yards deep and be brought out of the end zone here by the South. And a pretty nice return across the 20. Turning left up to about the 25-yard line was the return man, Mason Bowman. For Team South, that's Cedric Allison, a running back out of Oakdale, Louisiana, with a pretty nice return.
Yeah, we talk a lot about what happens offensively, what happens defensively, but we can't neglect special teams. Special teams are special, and so we'll see in these games, whether it's a kickoff return or a punt return, those plays can change the dynamic of a football game. It's a lot of hitting yardage in a return or a punt or things like that. So getting those good returns, getting your offense great field position, or setting your defense up will work wonders for you, and college coaches look for that as well.
So Team South on its 3rd drive now, looking for some sort of rhythm offensively, and they'll try a running play on 1st down, and there's just not a lot of room around that left side. Gain of just a couple up to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and what Team South has to kind of work on now is, how can I soften up Team North defense? I got to get some passes on the outside, whether it's a quick screen, a bubble screen, a slant, a hitch, something to make those defenders have to kind of just pause for a second, because these linebackers are coming downhill right now, and that's clogging up the running lanes for the running back and the quarterbacks.
This is Sean Fogel's first opportunity as the quarterback for Team South. He will hand off here on 2nd down. And again, not much of a gain up to the 31-yard line. Team North getting there in a hurry. It was Royce Doherty in on the stop. And it's going to bring up 3rd down, and this is a big play. It sounds weird to say that, Jesse, early in this game, but the South already finds itself down 14-0. They don't have a 1st down yet. Big 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, this is huge right now, down 14-0. What you don't want to do is give Team North right now the ball back, who is rolling offensively. You want to kind of sustain a drive, give your defense a chance to get a blow. So huge 3rd down for Team South.
And that's going to be a false start. Sean Fogel, the quarterback, was actually dropping back, anticipating the snap. And so instead of 3rd and 3, it'll now be 3rd down and 8. Just over halfway through this first quarter, both teams have possessed the ball 2 full times. This is the 3rd possession for Team South.
Hard count giveth and hard count taketh away. The South got a 5 yards last time they had the possession. This time they get backed up 5 yards behind the hard count from the quarterback. Again, same thing applies for running backs, receivers, linemen. You're looking at the football. You can't jump off sides when you know the snap count.
So 3rd down and 8, and a pretty obvious passing situation here for Team South. Fogel in the gun. And some more movement up front. And the officials will say that this is once again against Team South, a false start, to move them back now to 3rd down and 13.
This may be one of my favorite calls of all time, when a referee comes out and he goes, false start. Everyone but the center. I love that call. That's the greatest call that ever been called in the game, because everyone moves except the center. So either they're all right and he's wrong, or he's right and they're all wrong. I love it, but he's the last one with his hand on the ball, so I'm going to say that he's right and all the rest of those guys are wrong.
Well, who would know other than him, right?
Yeah, I mean.
He can at least blame it on the others if it's not actually his fault. So now 3rd and 13, the South back at the 22-yard line. And again, without a 1st down so far in this first quarter, and down 14-0. Fogel, with some time, is going to step up into the pocket and will just pick up what yardage he can to the original line of scrimmage, and that's all, as he slides down at the 25-yard line, and Team South once again will send in the punt team.
Ryan, there aren't many 19-yard 3rd down plays that you have in your playbook. I'm just, as someone who's been around a few playbooks in his time, coach is like, hey, I got this 3rd 19 play I want to run out there right quick. So when you have 2 false start penalties, that definitely puts you behind the chains and puts you in a very, very tough situation where the defense now just sits back and they'll go, well, we'll just stand at the sticks and give you everything in front and come up and tackle you.
So Daniel Hull with his third opportunity to punt here early. This is a good one. And it will be returned here from the 21-yard line. And Kalitri Boyd will be dropped shortly after he fields that punt. Good special teams play there by the South. One of the first guys there was Nigel Dowdell. And so Team North will have the football back, up 14-0 with just over 6 minutes left in this first quarter at Raymond James Stadium. And Jesse, we've seen nothing but efficiency and perfection almost from this Team North offense.
And when you look at, they come out, they're ready to go right now. They got their play call, got their sheets on their arms, and they're ready to go out there and play. So this team is really doing a great job with getting the play calls in and getting the line of scrimmage and getting them run.
Demir Asheru had a touchdown pass on the first drive. Courtney Davis had a touchdown run from the quarterback position on the second drive. And now we'll see Caden Anderson hand off on first down, and it's a nice gain around the left side for Jake Gill, the running back from Norwayne High School in Ohio. And that's a gain of 9 yards on that first down run.
As a play caller, you just love when the things that you're calling are working for your team. I think, Team North, they're just in a good rhythm. Their quarterback, their running back, their receivers, they just found a good rhythm, and it's working for them right now.
Anderson will pass here, and that pass intercepted. And here's the return down the right sideline, and this is going to be thrown back into play. That is Alec Hall on the interception. He's the linebacker from Maiden, North Carolina that we highlighted for you at the top of our broadcast. And a big play to give Team South a shot in the arm right there. The return down inside the 5-yard line.
And when you look at this play right here, linebacker sitting right there, reads his keys, and the quarterback just, throws it right to him. You're looking at that linebacker just moves out a little bit. I'm not sure about the throwback into bounds play. That might get you screamed at the coach a little bit. But what a great play by the linebacker, reading his keys, getting his eyes back to the quarterback, and the quarterback was making a completion just to the absolute wrong team.
Well, that might be a momentum-shifting play, depending on what the South is able to do with it. Starting first and goal at the North 4. And a touchdown here would cut that deficit down by half. So a big play there by Alec Hall, who was called by his head coach in North Carolina the best defensive player to come through his high school in at least 25 years. So this is a guy who is really touted from the linebacker position. And here's a little bit of a busted play. Finally a handoff over the left side, and looks like it'll be out of bounds inside the 1-yard line. Nice run there by Cedric Allison, the running back from Oakdale High School in Louisiana. It'll be second down and goal at the 1.
We call this Statue of Liberty. Remember Boise State back in the day? They faked it like the pass and handed off behind the back. A little Statue of Liberty right there from Team South. Almost got them a touchdown, got them down to the 1-yard line, but they're pulling out all the tricks right now to get back on the board.
I'd love to go back to that here in a second if we're able to, Jesse. Just the fun that generates, the excitement that generates when the coach decides to install a play like that. Here's second and goal, handoff, and going to be brought down short of the goal line, so it's going to be third down and goal. Quinn Neiman is the quarterback on this possession, and now Team South looking at a 4-point play, third and goal from inside the 1-yard line.
And I want to kind of give the fans some of the rules in the blue-gray game, because you're probably going to say to yourself, if they don't score right here and it's fourth down and goal, why are they going for it why aren't they going for it on the fourth down? Well, in this game, you don't go for it on fourth down. You have to kick the field goal or punt it away until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. So if they don't get in right here, don't get upset and go, I would have went for it right here. A little bit of rules that we have here in the blue-gray All-American game.
Big play right here. Neiman in the shotgun, and he dropped the snap. It's loose at around the 7-yard line. It does look like the South was able to recover it. Neiman able to fall back on it. But that is going to bring up 4th down, and so that means the South will have to try a field goal. That's a big win for the North defense.
Absolutely. I mean, to be down to the 1-yard line and be able to withstand right there, that's a huge, huge, huge stop for the North defense. And the ball handling on that right there was a mix-up with the running back and the quarterback. You just can't fumble the football in that moment right there. It just really sucks for Team South.
So Connor Gibbs with a 25-yard attempt from the left hash, and that is good. And so that will at least put Team South on the board with 5:22 left here in this first quarter from Raymond James Stadium. 14-3 is the lead for the North. The third member of our broadcast team is Laura Sadler, and let's send it downstairs to hear from her for the first time. Laura?
All right, I'm here with Courtney Davis, and you have scored a touchdown on this same field as one of the greatest of all time, Tom Brady. How surreal is that for you?
I can't believe it. It's a dream come true. I've never been able to get on this stage and perform like this, so the fact that I can go from watching this field, great players play here, to playing on it is amazing.
Somehow, I don't know why, but you have not committed anywhere. What are you hoping to showcase here today for those scouts?
I'm hoping to show that I'm a great leader. I'm going in to win. I'm dedicated, working hard, and I'm just out here trying to have fun and show that my family sacrifices matter.
Congratulations. Good luck in the rest of this game.
Thank you. You too.
Let's take it back up top.
Hey, thanks very much, Laura. Courtney Davis with a 10-yard touchdown run earlier to give the North team a 14-0 lead at the time.
You do your family proud.
And right now, 14-3 after the South got the takeaway, the interception by Alec Hall, but they had to settle for a field goal. The North defense bowing up deep inside their own end. And the tackle on that 3rd down play made by Christopher Horning off of the fumble that was eventually recovered by the South allowed them to try the field goal from 25 yards. And now the kickoff by Connor Gibbs is a squib effort, and that will go by Team North into the end zone, and they're going to try to bring this out, and that was the wrong call because the tackle is going to be made at the 1-yard line. Team South hoping for a safety call. I don't think that's coming, but this is not good news for the North.
No, and this is just kind of having a little bit of misinformation from the returner. You know, when the ball hits you in the arm and goes back into the end zone, the impetus of the football carries into the end zone. It allows you to still down the football in the end zone without penalty of a safety and bring the ball out to the 20. But he's trying to come out and make a play, and it didn't quite work out for him. When you watch this play right here, it bounces, it hits you, and goes to the end zone. Take the knee right here, ball comes out to the 20, but he tries to bring it out. He avoided catastrophe for a second, but he gives the ball to Team North at the 1-yard line, and now they got to go 99 yards. But the first thing you want to do is make sure you get a play that gets you off the shadows of your own end zone.
And this didn't end up happening, but it would have actually been better had they been tackled in the end zone because that would have resulted in a touchback. But the fact that the return man actually made it out of the end zone and forward progress to the 1-yard line means that the North is backed up. Now, they've already scored from 95 yards away. This will be from 99 yards away. Demir Asheru will hand off on 1st down, and they will just barely make it out of the end zone, trying to run a sweep to the outside and back to the line of scrimmage for no gain.
And forgive me for being the old man, get off my lawn from the era of football, but you know, football now is played in the shotgun from so much. When you talk about a situation like this where you're on the 1-yard line, you remember that your running back and your quarterback are standing 6 or 7 yards off of the line of scrimmage in the back of the end zone. So that sometimes hurts a little bit when you're trying to get the mesh point right and getting those linemen blocked up because you're starting so far back to get to the line of scrimmage.
Asher is going to throw out of his own end zone. Still in the pocket, and will throw off of his back foot. That pass is going to be picked off. An interception at the 20-yard line. The interception is made by Troy Tomaselli, a defensive back out of Cornerstone Christian in the state of Texas. and the second takeaway by the South defense of the game. And this time, it was the pressure that got to the quarterback.
Yeah, and sometimes for a young quarterback, you watch these NFL players. Of course, you're playing on the NFL field, and you watch guys like Patrick Mahomes, who's able to move to the left and has such tremendous arm strength to get the ball on the field, and understand that you're not quite that guy just yet. But, you want the decision-making to be the very best. And sometimes just throwing it away is the best decision to make instead of throwing an interception. And now you give Team South the ball back in the red zone territory.
Well, at one point in time, this was 14-0, and the North looked unstoppable. Now the South with a chance to cut further into that lead. And the handoff on first down here to Deontay Burgess behind the left guard will get down to about the 14-yard line. That's one of the more productive runs for the South here in this ball game, and it's a gain of 6 on first down.
One of the reasons why football is one of my favorite sports is the lesson that you learn within football, the ebbs and flows of the game of football. Sometimes you can start out and things don't look great for you, but it's 1 or 2 plays in this game get turned around, and you see it right now, down 14-0, 2 back-to-back turnovers from Team North gives Team South an opportunity to get more points on the board.
James McGinn will hand off again to Burgess, and Burgess will fight his way down to the 11-yard line to set up 3rd down and 1. Funny enough that Team South is still without a first down in this first quarter, but with an opportunity to pick up one here on 3rd and about a yard with 3.5 to play in this first quarter. The North still in front 14-3.
And this is my bias speaking because I'm a former wide receiver. But Team South has to get a little bit more of the passing game going from them. The running game is like, 1 yard in a cloud of dust. Got to get that passing game going on just a little bit.
And once again, Team South trying that hard count, and it's going to pay off for them this time, it looks like. That will be against the defense, and it will result in an automatic first down, the first of the afternoon for Team South, and it will set up 1st and goal from the North 6.
Yeah, just got to watch the football right there. Getting a little bit past, rush happy, not watching the football, listening to the clap or the sound of the quarterback's cadence. All you got to do is get your eyes fixated on that football. When it moves, you move. Get in your stance, get locked and ready to go. Don't worry about what the quarterback is saying. Don't worry about what the quarterback is clapping. Your focus is on the football. When the pigskin moves, you go and get it.
Burgess and Mekhi Phillips are the running backs. McGinn in the gun is going to throw on 1st and goal. Lobs one to the end zone, man, wide open, and that was Jackson, who is unable to hold on. Now, that should have been a touchdown for Team South. They got back into the picture to make the play defensively, did the North. And you take another look there. That pass should have been caught by Jackson.
We have a saying from the wide receiver perspective is look the ball into the catch. And you see that player right there, the receiver, he looks the ball and then he looks down as if his feet is kind of too close to the inbounds, and he takes his eyes off the football. Routine catch, routine play. But if you don't do the routine thing with your eyes, it comes in an unroutine result, which is a touchdown essentially dropped for Team South.
That was a nice play by the North not to give up on it and make things tough on Jackson. Now 2nd and goal at the 6. McGinn will throw again. Fade to the left side is incomplete. They were playing press coverage on the outside, and that incompletion now will set up 3rd down and goal. And they're trying to do what you said, Jesse, try to get the passing game involved, but have not been able to do that successfully on 1st or 2nd down.
Yeah, well, you had a touchdown and the receiver dropped it. I've never really been a fan of the fade to the short side of the football field. You got all this room down here on the bottom part of the football field. Gives your quarterback a much easier throw, much more room to navigate. Short side of the field, it's either have to be all or nothing, and you can't make a mistake.
McGinn will throw on 3rd and goal across the middle, and that's batted down. Incomplete. Great job again by Team North to stand tall down on their own goal line, and they will force another field goal try.
When you get down in that red zone, everything now gets constricted. You don't have much room because players have nowhere to back up. The end zone is right there, so they're gonna use that as their 12th man. And so when you don't get that first touchdown because of the drop, things get a little bit more tight and tight and tight and tight. And now you're trying to fit throws into windows that, at this juncture, in this age of the young kids, may not be able to fit into, but you want that first touchdown to happen, and now you'll settle for a field goal.
Connor Gibbs was good from 25 earlier. This attempt from 23 yards is up and good. And so the South has now cashed in both of its takeaways with field goals. But certainly could have been a lot more, especially on that drive. They had a ball that was dropped in the end zone. And so for Team North, once again, Jesse, you have to feel really good about the way the defense was able to stand up there and hold the South to field goals.
Absolutely. We consider that a win for the defense. When you get a turnover in your own territory and you hold that team to 3 points, that is an absolute win for the defense. Now you need your offense to come back out there and do what they did their first 2 possessions. Get a long, sustained drive, get some points on the board so that you can continue to increase that cushion. What was 14 points is now down to 8. We'll see what Team North is able to do after this kickoff.
And for the North offensively, I would imagine the conversation is around protecting the football, especially from the quarterback position. Here's the kickoff by Gibbs, very high, little short, taken at the 2-yard line. And here's the return by Kalitri Boyd, and Boyd will get across the 15 before he is stood up at the 17-yard line. Kalitri Boyd out of Kings Fork High School in Virginia. And the North will be starting at their own 17-yard line. They've had really poor starting field position all afternoon long in this first quarter. They've been able to turn a couple of those into long touchdown drives, but a couple others have ended in turnovers.
That's not a coincidence. This kickoff coverage team has done a really good job for Team South. And, a lot of people don't want to play kickoff, but, I can tell you as someone who did it for the league for 4 or 5 years, it pays well if you do it right.
So we'll see Courtney Davis again as the quarterback. He had a 10-yard touchdown run on his first drive, and he will hand it off on first down to Trey Corbin, the running back out of Virginia. Corbin up to around the 20-yard line for a gain of a couple.
And when you watch these RPO plays, right, the quarterback, he's looking at the defensive end. He's saying to himself, if the defensive end dives down, I'm snatching it from the running back and I'm going off the edge. If the defensive end stays up, I'm handing it off to the running back and allow him to find his way through the middle of that offense.
Here's a fake by Davis. He'll keep it himself, and look at the 6'6" fella go across the 30, still on his feet, going to reverse field and dive up close to the 40-yard line. What a run by Courtney Davis. Jesse, he's 6'6" and 215 pounds and can run like that.
Watch right there. The tackle gets that block on the defensive end and lets the quarterback know, I got a blocker out in front of me, and the rest is just God-given ability. Going out there, using that size, that speed, that athleticism, being able to cut back across the grain, something that I could do at a young age, but these young players are totally different than me.
Well, we mentioned earlier downstairs with Laura that right now Davis is uncommitted. I can't imagine that would last very much longer. And here's an option pitch coming to the near side. Trey Corbin takes the pitch from Davis and gets up to the 45-yard line. A gain of 4 on that play. And you like the variety in the play calling from the North team, and Coach Rodney Beasley, the offensive coordinator, Dick Bell is the head coach. Rodney Beasley, who was an NFL trainer for the Carolina Panthers, product of Greensboro College, and a recipient of 2 Purple Hearts as an infantry paratrooper as a member of the 82nd Army Airborne Division. He has been an integral part of the blue-gray football team for about a decade now, as Davis loads up and goes deep, and that pass incomplete. Good coverage provided on the play by Team South. That was J.R. Millar out of First Academy in Florida who had the coverage there. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 6 with under half a minute to play in this first quarter. The North leading the South 14-6.
And to continue on with Coach Beasley, we first and always want to say thank you for your service, Coach. That is, we talk about, football being warriors and soldiers and all that kind of stuff. Well, Coach Beasley was actually one who was defending our country, and we thank you for that. And the one thing about these young men, what they get an opportunity to do is be around a lot of these veteran guys, not only for the game of football, but for being able to help impart some wisdom from male to male. And a lot of these young players need that. You never know what their family situation is, but people like Coach Beasley who pour back into these young men definitely even though they're together for a short amount of time, can be something that's life-changing if there's a message or there's a word of encouragement that one of these young players needs, one of these young men needs. So thank you, Coach Beasley, for all of your great work with these young men, with Blue-Gray All-American Bowl, and everything that you've done for this country. Absolutely.
That's really well said, Jesse, as we're at the end of one here in Tampa, 14-6, the North with the lead through the first quarter. We'll be back for the second quarter here in Tampa after this. Start of the second quarter, Courtney Davis at the controls for Team North in the shotgun here on first down from the South 45. And Davis will throw deep. That pass is going to be held on to and caught down around the 21-yard line. The reception made by Tyree Holloway. That's his second catch already this afternoon, Jesse. Great route and a great job to hold on to the football as he took that hit.
Yeah, absolutely. But I want to give some love to the offensive line. Look at that pocket. Clean pocket for Davis to survey the landscape and step up into the pocket and deliver that ball down the field. So to my boys up front, I know you don't get a lot of love, but that was a great pocket for the quarterback to throw into and a completion to the receiver down the field.
So a gain of 24 on that pass from Davis to Tyree Holloway. Sets up first down at the South 21 and a handoff. And a good carry over the right side.
You know what I like about Davis, the quarterback? We heard him down with Laura early on in his interview. He seemed like a kid who just has a ton of composure. And at that position, you're literally the thermometer, the thermostat for their entire offense. A lot of times for the entire football team. If you're out of whack, they get out of whack. But if you're calm, cool, and collective, then your team seems to be that way as well.
And here's another nice run by Andrew Swisher, running back from Macomb High School in Ohio. He's gotten back-to-back carries and picks up a first down.
And again, I want to give love to my big boys up front, my all-grocery bill team. You know, we got some big boys up front who I do not want the grocery bill for, but they're creating and opening a lot of lanes for all of these running backs to run through in this RPO offense.
And Jake Gill, I should say, on the carry here inside the 5-yard line. Going to bring up second down and goal, and Team North right now having its way. And you're right, Jesse, it's that offensive line that's really carrying a bulk of the responsibilities here.
Now watch Davis on that same RPO, and this time he keeps it like he did the last time.
And there it is. He'll go behind the left tackle, and at 6'6", 215, he barrels his way in for the touchdown.
It's a great play design. You've been running to the right, to the right, to the right, and now you get linebackers and linemen kind of feeding into that. Quarterback keeps it. He's long, he's physical, he's rangy. All he got to do is get to the line of scrimmage and lean over for a touchdown. Great play right there by Coach Beasley calling it. Great play by the quarterback running it.
And so that is a touchdown for Courtney Davis, his second of the afternoon. And the extra point try coming here from Michael Calton, out of the hold of the punter, Daniel Deneen. And the hold a little iffy, but it looks like Calton was able to get it up and in. Just underway in this second quarter, and the North leading the South 21-6.
DNA Studios, LLC.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
So a good drive put together there by the North as we take another look at the touchdown. Courtney Davis again on that option. You can see it actually fooled our camera crew, and Davis able to keep it himself. And with that size, Jesse, again, you mentioned it, but just a great play call and a design there by the North.
Absolutely. Whenever you fake out the cameraman, that's a pretty good play design right there. And they set it up all the way down the field. When you get penetration, when you get your offensive line to recreate the line of scrimmage, meaning pushing that defensive lineman back and allowing those holes to open up for the running back, it makes it a lot easier for these athletic, rangy quarterbacks to snatch the ball out of the stomach of the running back, find their way, and just lean forward.
So Team North 21-6 up over the South here in this first half, and they have really looked good offensively despite 2 turnovers in the game. They've had a couple of interceptions, but fortunately those have not led to touchdowns, and give credit to the North defense for that. Here comes the return for the South, and a good coverage provided by the North. Only to the 15-yard line comes the return. And bringing it up for the South was Nazir Jones, who's actually listed as a linebacker at 6 foot, 180 pounds from 96 High School in South Carolina. Only got back to the 15-yard line, so the South will be backed up just a bit to start this next drive. And this is a big drive here, Jesse. Early in the second quarter, the South down by 15. They've got to find some momentum and some rhythm moving the football down the field.
No, they absolutely do, because as this game goes on, if you can't find any rhythm, it seems like the team North has all the rhythm. But this is a good start to it right here.
Yeah, very nice start to the drive for the South, as Elijah Farmer got the carry around the left side from Clover, South Carolina. And that's a first down carry up to the 28-yard line.
Good play by the running back, just trying to find a little bit of airspace wherever he can. The middle is clogged up, so he bounces to the outside. The tackle kind of gets that end hooked, and he finds some running room around the edge for a first down.
And back to throw here on this first down play. Sean Fogle rolling out to his right, and the pass incomplete, intended for Tyson Gast, a receiver out of Lake Gibson High School in Florida. Shane Eller provided the pressure there to force Fogle out of the pocket. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Good play right there by the linebacker, reading his keys, understanding who I have. I got the running back in the flat, and you want to, again, eliminate all that airspace, be tight in coverage, be in his hip pocket, so that when that ball is released, now I can kind of just, we have a little bit of a tug, but I can get that outstretched hand out there for an incomplete pass.
The South will have a slot on the right here on 2nd and 10 from their own 28-yard line. And Fogle is going to hand off inside. Good effort to get up to about the 33-yard line there. That was, again, Farmer on the carry. It'll be 3rd down and about 5 coming up here for the South, trying to keep momentum going on this drive as Barry made the stop for the North.
Yeah, another critical down right here. You want to make sure that you extend this drive. Team North has kind of found that rhythm again offensively, so you don't want to give them the ball back right now. 3rd and 5, you want to be able to kind of help this drive be sustained a little bit more to give yourself an opportunity to score some points.
Team South really needs to stay connected here early in this second quarter. Fogle in the shotgun. They're going to hand it off, and a nice play made defensively. That's Nehemiah Hunter with a tackle for loss on the ball carrier, Jonathan Jackson, who could not turn the corner. And the South will have to punt it back to the North.
Yeah, Nehemiah Hunter, I like that name for a linebacker, Hunter. And that's what he did right there. He saw the linebacker and hunted them, saw the running back and hunted him down, defeated his block, got to the outside, and eliminated the running back for a loss. 4th and 7, and Team South, will have to come out and punt this ball away.
Kalitri Boyd will be back deep to receive the punt.
And this type of yardage right here, you're thinking about it, this is an opportunity for a good type of return. The returner will have some time. He'll have some space.
Boyd's going to let it bounce, and he muffed it, and it's going to be recovered by the South. Now, they're not able to advance that. They will get it where it was recovered. Team South will get the football back at the 20-yard line. Getting down there and making the play was K.C. Bradford, a defensive back from Alabama, and a big mistake here by Team North.
Yeah, that football, that oblong football, it takes some weird bounces. And if you don't have, if that ball bounces once and you can't get on it and it bounces again, that sometimes can get up on you quicker than you think. And that's what happened. The ball bounced twice, took a weird bounce off the shoulder pad of the returner, and another unfortunate turnover for Team North, giving the ball to Team South back in the red zone. We'll see what Team South has been able to do. They haven't been able to do much with the turn that they've gotten today. 6 points out of those 3 turnovers so far today. They need to get something going because they've been gifted the ball plenty today. This game could be a lot closer if they were able to do something with it offensively.
They had it inside the 10 on both of those first 2 red zone opportunities and came away with field goals both times. Now Quinn Neiman back to throw, is going to go end zone on first down, and that pass is caught for a touchdown. Team South will immediately cash in with a touchdown. What a beautiful throw by Neiman, and the catch for the touchdown made by, let's take a look here, Cody Roberts, number 13, the receiver out of Southside High School in Alabama. He just went up and high-pointed the football, Jesse.
Yeah, what a good route. We call it right there, post corner. The receiver took the inside release, 3 steps into the post, back outside to the corner. Neiman threw a nice ball in the back of the end zone. When I was growing up, it called "you got mossed." What the young kids call it nowadays is bean top. That's what they call it, the bean. So when the ball high point on top of someone's head, they call it a bean top. I learned that from the young kids, but I call it, they tap the head, bean top. I call it "you got mossed." No matter how you call it, then it definitely works that way.
21-13, the South staying close here early in the second quarter. The South back to within 8 after a touchdown pass from Quinn Neiman to Cody Roberts. The South able to cash in immediately on the muffed punt that was recovered at the 20-yard line. And the South right back in this football game now. Connor Gibbs sending the kick low and line drive, and it will be returned here by the North. This is Amari MacArthur on the return, and he's going to be dropped short of the 20-yard line. So good coverage by the South, and Jesse, momentum has shifted just a little bit here. The mistakes by the North has left that door open for the South here in this first half.
And as good as the North has played, and they've had some really good drives offensively, it's been the turnovers, man. It's been killing them. 3 turnovers already in this first half, and there's only so many times that you can give a team, your opponent, the ball in their red zone, and they don't come out of there with points. 6 points the first 2 times. They finally got a touchdown. Now we're back into a ball game. 21-13, North leads.
And on first down, the North off to a good start with a handoff up the middle to Jalon Johnson, the first time we've called his name today. The running back out of Battlefield High School in Virginia, being looked at by several schools in the ACC, and Johnson picks up a first down up to the 31-yard line.
And you see why he scored 13 touchdowns this season. This is a guy who's given the ball the inside, the outside. He's tough to bring down. He runs physically. He's fast. He understands his contact leverage, and he's able to take what should have been a loss into a major gain.
And Johnson again will get the handoff, this time behind left tackle, and is going to be stood up at the line of scrimmage. A nice play made by the South. Johnson stopped after a gain of nothing to bring up second down and 10. I did not expect when we made plans to come out here in late January to Tampa to see umbrellas out in the crowd shading the fans from the sunshine, but over 80 degrees here today in South Florida. Just a beautiful afternoon for some football, as the handoff here for Team North will be taken by Andrew Swisher, and Swisher to the 33-yard line, brings up third down and about 8 coming up.
You know, Ryan, you and I both are coming from Dallas-Fort Worth area, and right now, they're in kind of in a winter storm happening over there. So I'm not mad at being in South Florida right now. We got polos and sunglasses on up here. It's much better than what we're going to go back to after this game is over. So we're going to enjoy great football, great weather, and great people here in South Florida.
Third down and 8, and here's the scramble by Caden Anderson, and Anderson will be spilled in the backfield. In on that stop quickly was Zachary Lacombe. He's a linebacker out of Rouse High School in that very state of Texas you were just mentioning, Jesse, and he puts an end to this drive as he does a great job getting off the block. He was assisted there by Jared Wright, a defensive lineman from Lathrop High School in Missouri.
Yeah, one thing that ends those RPOs is when you get penetration from the defense. If they can knock their guys back or time that blitz up perfectly, what happens now is the mesh point is messed up, the timing is messed up, and now you don't have an opportunity for the running back to get through or to change the eyes of the linebacker. They just came back in and said, hey, we're going to tackle whoever's back there, and they did a great job. Tackle for loss, brings up a fourth down. Now that momentum may be swinging again because Team North has to kick the ball off the Team South. Let's see what they can do with it.
This is the first punt of the day for the North. Daniel Deneen from St. James High School in South Carolina gets away a high spiraling punt and a chance to return this from the 28-yard line, turning left at the 30 with a seam up to the 40 at midfield with the punter to beat to the 40-yard line, and a great return by the South, brought back by Jonathan Jackson, a running back from right here in Florida, and he gives his team a nice shot in the arm. The South will be set up with good starting field position, and this is a one-score football game.
Absolutely. If I can just get 51 Perkins right now, if I get him to turn up the field, don't watch the returner, get up and find a man, get on the punter, allow your returner to get up the field. But a fantastic return in the special teams game right there, giving your team, flipping the field, giving them great field position right now. South seemed like they picked up their game a little bit. Offensively, they sputtered out a couple times early in the first half. Let's see if they can get things going for themselves. Again, one score in this football game, and they're right back in it.
James McGinn will be the quarterback on this drive, starting at the 40. And McGinn will throw. He's hit as he throws, and that pass nearly intercepted. Thrown into double coverage, winds up incomplete. And that was the best-case scenario there for the South. It'll be 2nd and 10.
You know what they say, RC, about DBs?
There's a reason they play DB and not WR.
They're receivers who can't catch. And we saw that on full display right there. Because you think about it, they do the same thing that receivers do. They actually do it they do it backwards. The only problem is when the ball hits their hands, they usually drop it. When it hits the receiver's hands, most of the time, we usually catch it.
That was Blake Scrofnagel who made the play defensively, but not quite the play that he could have made. Second down, handoff. This is Mekhi Phillips, and Phillips will find very little room around the right side. Got to the 38-yard line for a gain of 2 to set up 3rd down and 8.
Yeah, watch the linebacker in this play. We call this scraping. He comes down, he's reading where the hole's getting ready to open up at, doesn't open, he scrapes off that hole, meets the running back on the outside, tackles him, slows him up a little bit for the cavalry to come. That's one thing the North has done really well today defensively. They've gotten 11 guys to the football. They've corralled the runner and made sure that whatever gain that he got, it wasn't more after that. It was, all right, you got this game, but we're here now. We're bringing the ball carrier down.
James McGinn trying again for that hard count. Had a player in the neutral zone, but they didn't snap it. Now 3rd down and 8. Handoff up the middle and close to a first down. Deontay Burgess on the carry. They are right at the marker, and it will be enough to move the sticks for Team South and give them a fresh set of downs, and a great run here by Burgess.
Yeah, early in the football game, these holes weren't there for Team South. And what happens now is you begin to wear that defense down a little bit. Offensively for the North, they haven't been able to sustain those long drives, so you put your defense back out on the field with these turnovers, and now what happens is those holes that were closed earlier, tired defense, those holes are now open, and you see the running game begin to pick up for Team South.
They'll keep it on the ground again here with Burgess, and Burgess will do a good job cutting up the field inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Deontay Burgess out of Mulberry High School right here in Florida, so didn't have to come far. 6 foot, 210 pounds. And a gain of 7 on that first down carry. So those holes, as you mentioned, Jesse, that were not available early on in this football game, that Team South offensive line starting to wear down the other side. And it's paying off nicely on this drive. 2nd and 5. Again, Burgess patiently waits for the blocking to develop. And it will be brought down very close to a first down. It'll be 3rd down and short coming up.
Yeah, absolutely, Ryan. One thing that these young men are far greater shape than you and I are. But remember, when you look at the roster, these guys are coming from Michigan. They're coming from Ohio. They're coming from all over the country. The weather here is 85 degrees. It's a little bit warm down on that football field. So a lot of these guys aren't coming from hot places. They're coming from the colder places, and now they have to play in this heat. When they're on the field for an extended period of time, that can also wear down on you because this heat on that football field can definitely drain a player.
And we have a stoppage in play as a player from Team South is a little shaken up on that previous running play. So they will get the training staff out to look at him. 21-13, the North leading here just about halfway through this second quarter of play. If you're just joining us, it was 14-0, the North with the lead at one point. And we're going to step aside for this injury timeout here from Tampa. Back here in Tampa, just over 7 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The South with the football, down 21-13, but they've got it at the North 21-yard line, and a big 3rd down and 1 coming up here for the South. James McGinn is in as the quarterback for the South team. Ken Stills is their head coach today here in Tampa. And they're going to hand off. This is Burgess, and Burgess will be brought down from behind. A nice tackle made by Shane Eller. This is going to depend on the spot. They were very close to a first down, and it looks like that Eller got to Burgess for no gain.
That's why it's so important to defend every blade of grass, because in this game, like we mentioned earlier, on 4th down, you got to kick either punt it or kick the field goal. And so if you give up that extra yard, now you're talking about a first down being made. You got to live out there for another four downs defensively. But great run down from the backside, made the tackle, and now set up for, what would that be, a 30-something yard field goal for Team South.
And this is Connor Gibbs, who has been good from 23 and from 25. This is from 37 from the left hash. And it is blocked. That one did not have the height on it to get over the line. And so Team South will come up empty on this possession. With 6:15 remaining in the second quarter, it will remain an 8-point game. So that ended up being a huge play by Shane Eller, the defensive back from Unity Reed High School in Virginia, who made that tackle from his defensive back spot on 3rd down. And Team North will take the football back over at their own 25-yard line. So the North will start from their own 25. And this will be Demir Asheru in the pistol formation on 1st down. Asheru had a touchdown pass on the first drive of the game. Here's a little trick play on an end-around pass deep down the field. That's incomplete, but several flags fly in as the pass was intended for Torrance Washington. And this will be defensive pass interference coming here, Jesse.
You know, we normally see this play run as a first play of the game, but Coach kind of been holding this in his pocket a little bit right here. So he's pulled it out late in the second quarter. And while it wasn't successful in the completion, it was definitely successful with the yardage. Unlike the National Football League, this play is only worth 15 yards instead of the distance in which the ball traveled.
That was Kalitri Boyd who let that pass fly, and it really wasn't a poor attempt at all, especially when you consider the pressure that he was under. That was nearly completed even despite the pass interference. So a 15-yard penalty moves the ball up to the 40. And a handoff on first down, and that's going to be for a loss as Gray Herring, the running back from River Bluff, South Carolina, is brought down for a loss of 1. Herring plays at the high school that Anthony Giuliano is a coach at. Giuliano with Coles Kicking is the special teams coordinator for the North, so Anthony getting a chance to coach one of his own in Gray Herring this weekend in Tampa. Loss of 1 there brings up second down and 11 with 5 minutes to play here in the half. Asheru back to throw, steps up, has a man, pass caught. Nice post corner and a pass caught by Kalitri Boyd into South Territory to the 36-yard line.
Really good route by Boyd right there. You see him slip inside that inside defender, get on top of him, and that allows the quarterback some room to throw it right over the top of the defender on the corner route for completion. Team North back at it again, moving the ball down the football field, kind of almost in red zone territory.
A really nice decision making by Asheru there. Knew exactly where he wanted to go with the football and delivered it nicely to Boyd for a first down. At the south 36-yard line on first down, Asheru will hand off, and not much room there to maneuver for the ball carrier. Going to be a gain of about 1, maybe 2 to the 34-yard line. Jake Gill on the carry. And it will be second down coming up. 4:30 left in this first half. Ryan Castle, Jesse Hawley, our entire crew here at Raymond James Stadium. Laura Sadler, the third member of our team, down on the sidelines.
The North are able. Mike's on.
Asheru back to throw here on 2nd and 8. And look at him thread the needle on that pass, caught down around the 15-yard line.
It's a really good pass by the quarterback right there. And having Mason Bowman up the seam, understanding that I'm going to take a hit from this safety. And our coach used to always tell me, you're going to get hit regardless. It feels a lot better when you get hit and make the completion opposed to getting hit and not making the completion. Great pass, great catch by Bowman. Team North first down in the red zone.
Bowman, the running back out of Tennessee, played at Monterey High School. And the handoff here to Gray Herring. Herring back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be it. It'll be second down, and Asheru here, Jesse, with a couple of really impressive-looking throws on this drive.
Yeah, because when you look at the way that Team South is playing defense, they have that single high safety, and he's kind of leaning towards the two receiver side, which gives those seam passes a little bit better of an opportunity to be completed because he has to play so much space, and they've completed 2 of them so far. That last one to Bowman was gotten them now to the 15-yard line. We'll see what they run from here, but watch how they're using those slot receivers.
Play action. Asheru threw it a little behind the receiver, but it is caught. And inside the 10-yard line, very close to another first down. Kalitri Boyd on the reception. And they are going to give Boyd a first down. It'll set up first and goal inside the 5-yard line here for Team North, up by 8 and looking to pad that lead here late in the half.
If you watch that play, where did it come from? The slot receiver. A little bit of RPO action. Get that linebacker to commit. Throw that slant right behind his head for a completion to Boyd. This defense is kind of all over the place right now, but Team North is doing a great job in their play calling and play design, and the quarterback is reading the right person and getting the ball out quickly.
Asheru hands off, and that is in for the touchdown. Great reach across the goal line by Jalon Johnson who puts one in the end zone for Team North. Great extra effort by him. And the North back in front by 14 with the extra point still coming.
The running back that we highlighted in the beginning of the game, 13 touchdowns on the season out of Virginia. You watch him, he has a nose for the end zone. He understands how to lower his pad level, allow his legs to drive him, and he understands right here at the goal line, I don't have to get my whole body in there. All I got to do is get Blake to play with the football. Another touchdown for Jelani Jones, understanding what to do when you get the ball in the end zone, to get the ball into the end zone.
Really good effort by Elliott Jamison, the linebacker for the South, to try and keep Johnson out of the end zone, but was unable to do so successfully. And the North in front now, 28-13, but a high-scoring first half here from Raymond James Stadium with 3:23 remaining here in the half. And this has been primarily on the ground for the North. That is their third rushing touchdown. And the only touchdown through the air from Demir Asheru.
Alec Hall joining us now. Playing on a field of this magnitude, I'm sure it can come with some nerves. In the North, they were able to get a little bit of a jump on you guys, but how do you feel your team is settling into this game now?
I think we're starting to calm down a little bit. You know, everybody flustered. They can't really do what they need to get done. So I'm trying to calm my team down so they can get to it.
We have to brag about you for a second. Your head coach, your high school coach, said that you are one of the best defensive players he's had since the 1990s. What part of your game are you hoping will translate here today for us to see?
You know, the way I read the field, I think, like, if you're in the right spot at the right time, you can get it done. Like, early in the game, try to get my defense going, got a pick, get us there.
Awesome. Well, congratulations and best of luck in this game.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's take it back up to Ryan and Jesse.
Okay, Laura, thanks so much. Alec Hall, who we highlighted for you at the top of our broadcast, looking really hard at staying home, close to home. Possibly North Carolina or North Carolina State could end up being the home for Alec Hall. We'll find out over the next several months, but he had a great interception, as he just mentioned earlier in this game, for the South, and a really good-looking linebacker out of Maiden High School in North Carolina. The return by the South to the 20-yard line. That's where they'll start, down 28-13 with 3:17 remaining here in the half. So a chance to put some points on the board prior to halftime.
Now, as a 4-year starter at the University of North Carolina, a national champion at the University of North Carolina, I don't have any bias. Okay, Ryan Castle?
None.
I don't have any bias at all. All I'm going to say is this. NC State is the little brother stepchild of North Carolina Chapel Hill. That's all I'm going to say. So, Alec, if you're looking for the right place to go in your decision making, no bias, Ryan Castle, no bias from me, the North Carolina Tar Heel. No bias from me. All I'm saying is, if you want to make a smart decision, if you want to make the best decision, and you want to go to the school that truly represents the state of North Carolina, I'm just saying 15501 heads right into Chapel Hill. Just saying.
I don't
just saying.
think, partner, you could have been any more objective.
No bias. No bias here. No bias here. No real affiliation with the Chapel Hill area or the university. Just got my degree from communications in there. Was a 4-year starter, 2-year basketball player, national champion. No, but there's no bias from me. Okay, Ryan? There's no bias from me.
I would never accuse you of such a thing,
No bias
Jesse
from me.
Holly.
I want Alec to make the right decision as a player.
Well, a timeout is called here by the South. They're looking at third down and about 6 with 2:25 remaining. They've kept it on the ground, Jesse, which is maybe a little unexpected, perhaps, when you're trying to put together a drive here with 3.5 minutes remaining in the half. Maybe try and get down and cut into this deficit just a little bit. The North is going to receive the football to start the second half of play. So, if you're Coach Ken Stills, you'd really like to get down there, get in range to put up some more points in this first half, and we'll see what they draw up coming out of this timeout on 3rd and about 7 from their own 24-yard line.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to give Team North the ball back right now with 3 timeouts and 2 minutes 25 seconds left. So your hope is to get a first down right here so you can kind of run this clock out a little bit, because if not, then Team North has an opportunity for a 2-for-1 type of deal, score and get the ball back at halftime.
So on third down, a play action fake. Sean Fogel going to get out of there and deliver the ball on target, but it's going to be short of a first down. The pass was caught there by Elijah Farmer, the running back, out of the backfield, but he did not pick up the first down, Jesse.
There's a flag down on the field. I don't know what the flag is for down here at the bottom. But, you know, for the running back, you want him to understand also that, hey, we want to keep the clock rolling, right? We don't want to give Team North an opportunity for the clock to stop. We want them to have to burn their timeouts. And so if that penalty is against Team South, you now find yourself with a fourth down and the clock stop, and you have to punt the ball away back to Team North, who has 3 full timeouts left at their disposal.
Well, the officials still working to get this sorted out. Looks like they might be talking over there with Dick Bell and Rodney Beasley, trying to figure out what exactly transpired and why that penalty flag was thrown. You know, sometimes when that's dropped right at the line of scrimmage, it's for illegal formation or perhaps offsides, but we never actually saw a call there. But it looks like it was against the North, because they're going to replay third down here, and it's going to be third down and about 1.5 yards. So another chance for the South to move the sticks and keep this drive going with just over 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Fogel back to throw. Has some time, is going to go deep, and has a man all alone for a catch. Along the right sideline, Tyson Gast got free and is into North territory with a big play.
There was absolutely a blown coverage there. We'll get a chance to see the replay coming up, but, you know, Tyson Gast got behind the defenders on the third down. There was a miscommunication between the cornerback and the safety. The cornerback thought he had the flat. Running backs come out to the flat. He comes down to converge on that. The safety did not get over the top fast enough. Huge play by Gaston for a huge first down on third down and short to give Team South an opportunity to score some points here.
And still plenty of time with 2 timeouts left. Handoff up the middle. This is Burgess. And Deontay Burgess for a gain of 2 to the 28-yard line. Well, Deontay Burgess has had a stellar game so far for the gray-shirted South team. And a timeout is going to be called here to stop play with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And if you're Team South here, Jesse, I think it's imperative you've got to at least get 3 to try and stay somewhat connected with the North. Remember that the North will get the ball to start the third quarter of play. As we take a look at Courtney Davis with a touchdown run earlier. That was his first of 2 touchdown runs for the North, who lead it 28-13 here in Tampa. And Davis is a big reason why, with his ability to run the football.
Yeah, he's a big kid, 6'6". You can see the size and the athleticism on him. You know, 2 touchdowns running the ball today. He's one of those guys. If we have an early MVP candidate, he's my early MVP candidate of the Blue-Gray All-American game.
So back to play after the timeout. 2nd and 8 for the South. And Fogel will turn and will hand it off. And Jonathan Jackson, who's had a couple of electrifying plays already so far, will gain close to 5 there on that second down run, bring up third down and about 2 or 3 coming up.
And this is a good spot to be in when you talk about as a quarterback and as a play caller, because now I still have the ability, if I feel good about the RPO, to run the football for the first down, but I also now can roll my quarterback out. I have other options that I can get into to extend this, and it really puts the defense back on their heels, because they have to now defend every inch of the field, the run and the pass, and you have options on both of them.
Fogel with 2 running backs is going to turn and hand off on the sweep. And this again is Farmer, Elijah Farmer, inside the 20 to the 17-yard line. That's enough for a first down for the South. Still a minute 10 left here, Jesse, so some time to take shots at the end zone. See if you can put one in the house to get 7 before the half. And, you know, I feel like if you're Team South, getting a touchdown here would really make you feel good about a first half that for the most part has been dominated by the North.
Yeah, absolutely. Getting points here will definitely put you in a situation where you're saying, all right, we had opportunities. We didn't converge on a lot of the turnovers that we got, but we're still in this football game, and anything can happen in the second half. So getting some points here would be paramount.
Fogel will go to the end zone, and that pass is going to be intercepted. He overthrew Aaron Jackson, and it is picked off in the end zone. Blake Scroffnagel, who dropped an interception earlier, this time Jesse sure-handed, able to get the takeaway.
Yeah, they went back to the well again. That same post corner out that they scored on earlier in the game, they went back to it. But this time the safety said, fool me once, shame on me. You won't fool me again. Is in there for the interception. Ball back to Team North with full complement of timeouts, might I add, Ryan. 3 timeouts with 35 seconds left. You still have a lot of time, and anything is open now. You can throw down the middle of the field. You can throw on the sidelines. Anything is open because you have those 3 timeouts to your disposal.
So we'll see exactly how aggressive Team North and Rodney Beasley wants to be here with 35 seconds and a 28-13 lead. We've seen the North be susceptible to the turnover in this first half. So you wonder if the North may be just content to hand the ball off a couple of times and go to halftime with a 28-13 lead, also knowing they'll get the ball to start the third quarter of play. They're going to hand off to Andrew Swisher, and Swisher will be tackled around the line of scrimmage for no gain. The South, up on the board at least, it appears still has 2 timeouts, and they're going to call one of them here to stop the clock with 26 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, that's a little bit odd, right? You would, for Team South, you don't want to stop the clock. You want the clock to keep running. For Team North, you have 3 timeouts, so you want one of them to take one. But Team South gifted Team North a timeout, and now if I'm Coach Beasley, I'm trying to put points on the board. I'm going 2 for 1. I'm saying I get the ball at the halftime, so I want to put myself in a position that I don't want to turn the ball over and be too reckless with it, but I want to give myself an opportunity to potentially have a big play, a splash play, where I can get myself in, if not touchdown range. You know, these young kickers, man, they got good legs. They can hit from 40. We've seen some guys hit from 50 yards out. Give them a shot.
Well, especially with Courtney Davis in there, you know, he's shown the ability to run the football well. You just let him scramble and see if he can bust a big play, but that apparently not the thinking for Team North. They want to go to the locker room and talk about this 28-13 lead that they have amassed in the first half here in Tampa at the home of the Buccaneers, Raymond James Stadium. As we go to halftime, it's the North 28 and the South 13, and Courtney Davis with 2 first-half touchdown runs to lead the way for Team North. We'll return to Tampa, Florida here in just a moment. The North in front of the South, 28-13 at halftime. (28-13) still at halftime, but Laura Sadler had a chance to catch up with South head coach Ken Stills down on the field.
All right, I'm here with Ken Stills, coach at the South. You find yourself trailing in this game. What will be your message in the locker room to your boys to turn this around?
Well, you know, we can't turn the ball over. We've been down the red zone here. We dropped the touchdown on a tight end pop pass. We just threw an interception on a smash route to the corner. We got a field goal blocked. We turned the ball over. So, it's just be efficient with the football. Do what you're supposed to do. It's tough. You get 3 hours a day, 6 hours total to work with these guys and their timing, but, just the little things. Be professional in your job and what you do. Take care of your business. 11 guys doing their assignment, and things are going to work out. I mean, we've had opportunities. We've been down there. So we got a chance this ball game.
I know you want to win this game, but more importantly, I know you want this to be a great experience for the kids. What are you hoping they get out of this?
Well, for some guys, it's going to be their last, high school football game ever. So it's an opportunity to play in a pro stadium and maybe take that picture and have that memory on their office desk, when they're working for a major company. For those next guys, it's an opportunity to play and test their skills against some of the best guys in the country. And if you can do that and have success and know you're going to go off to college and have success as well. And there's a chance to be mentored by some great NFL coaches and young college coaches, guys that have been there, to tell these guys what it's like at the next level, what it's going to take. There's other kids at home playing videos. What are you doing? What are you doing to be great? Try to take those guys from good to great. And that's what we want to do.
Thank you for your time. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We'll have more football after this.
Start of the third quarter just right around the corner here at Raymond James Stadium. This stadium was opened at the beginning of the 21st century, still one of the premier NFL stadiums that we have around, home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. As we take a look at the first half highlights, Jesse, it got started with this big pass from Demir Asheru to Jalen Townsend.
Yeah, you saw Asheru find some time in the pocket, look downfield, keep his eye down the field, coverage dropped, find his receiver for an 82-yard touchdown to start this game off.
That put the North up 7-0, and they weren't done in the first quarter. Courtney Davis with a keeper off the read.
Yeah, 6'6", great athleticism, keep the ball, go and score a touchdown.
The South then was able to get 2 takeaways, but unfortunately their offense unable to produce touchdowns off of those takeaways. 2 field goals made it 14-6. The North still in front, and Courtney Davis not done in the first half.
Yeah, you saw him on that play, run the ball, then take it out and go get a touchdown for himself.
That made it 21-6 at the time. The North with the lead, and then the South able to get a little closer on this beautiful throw from Quinn Neiman to Cody Roberts.
Yeah, one of the first times that the South was able to take a turnover and score it, turn it into touchdown points.
And the North would cap off the scoring in the first half of play. Jalon Johnson, the running back that we highlighted for you at the top of our broadcast out of Battlefield High School in Virginia, getting the short 5-yard touchdown run. And at the half, it's the North 28 and the South 13. The North is poised to get the ball to start this third quarter. Jesse, how important is a stop for the South defense coming here out of the half?
It really is. You want to be able to set that tone, right? Get some momentum back. Come out and get a stop on Team North. Get the ball back for your offense so that you can try to begin to start a drive. All right, going at halftime, you want to make the adjustments, have your coaches say, all right, this would work well for us, this didn't work well for us. How can we adjust to get ourselves in a better situation? But they better come out and they better be ready in the second half, because Team North has found a rhythm again like they did earlier in the game.
Yeah, Team North has had Asheru, Caden Anderson, and Courtney Davis in as quarterback, and all 3 of those guys have really had some productive drives as the signal caller. So the South defense has its work cut out for them in the second half. It's going to start with stops, and then their offense will have to find a rhythm and try to produce some points to get back into this football game. We mentioned earlier that this is the 9th Blue-Gray All-American Bowl that's been played in this stadium. The North and the South have split the first 8 matchups, 4 wins apiece. And you know that Coach Dick Bell for the North, head coach Ken Stills for the South, both of those guys, Jesse, really want to win this football game. At the heart of this, it's an individual effort, right? This is an opportunity for individuals to come, play in an NFL stadium, be coached by former NFL veterans, get some things on tape to perhaps move on and play college football, but at the end of the day, you want to win the football game.
You absolutely do. There's a competitive spirit that runs through all of us, especially these coaches and these kids. So they want to go out there. The kids want to win. The coaches want to win. So it's going to be a very competitive second half.
And so we will have the kickoff here coming up in just a moment. The South will be kicking off to the North. The North able to get touchdowns in that first half. 2 rushing touchdowns from Courtney Davis, a touchdown run by Jalon Johnson, and everything started off with an 82-yard touchdown from Demir Asheru to Jalen Townsend. Connor Gibbs will send the kick deep. The North with 2 return men waiting back at the 5-yard line, and the kickoff is a good one from Gibbs. It will be muffed just inside the goal line and returned here by Amari MacArthur, and MacArthur will spin his way out across the 15-yard line, and that's where the North will start. Let's go downstairs for Laura Sadler.
I got a chance to talk to North head coach Dick Bell, and as you can imagine, he was very pleased with his team's performance in the first half. He felt like their offense was firing on all cylinders. The defense was making stops, but he did have one critique: stop the turnovers. They had 3 turnovers in that first half, and he's hoping his team will minimize those mental mistakes here in the second. Ryan and Jesse.
All right, thanks, Laura. Yeah, it's very rare to see a team give the ball away 3 times, Jesse, in a first half and wind up leading by 15 after that half. But the North able to pull off that feed, and now will start 1st and 10 from its own 18-yard line. Courtney Davis with a quick throw, and the pass caught by Amari MacArthur right here in front of the North bench for a first down across the 30.
Yeah, to turn the ball over 3 times, that means your defense is playing really well for you to still be in the league. But it also helps when you get out to a 14-0 lead early in this game. It gives you a little bit of a cushion. And coming out in the second half, you see Team North and the quarterback Davis make an easy throw, right? We call this kind of an extended handoff. Just right up 5-7 yards, just put it on the receiver, allow him to gain some yardage. You start out good second down.
Davis with a pump fake, now going to throw deep for MacArthur, and MacArthur led out of bounds there, unable to hold on to the football, and the incompletion will set up 2nd down and 10. But you have to like the aggressive play calling from Rodney Beasley to start off this third quarter. They're not content with this 28-13 lead.
Yeah, coach called a little a hitch and go, right? Your first completion, run down, 5 to 7 yard hitch. We completed it. Now I want to do it again, but you got to make sure your receiver sells the hitch. Don't just run without really breaking down like you're going to run the hitch and run by the guy. Almost there, but not quite.
Davis comes under center on this 2nd down play, and that didn't quite have the fluidity to it that the North was looking for. Zach Montgomery got the handoff, and he's going to be tackled for a loss as we take another look. That might be, you never know here, but it might be one of the first times that Davis has ever come under center. And it winds up being a loss of about 3 for Team North.
It's funny, that's now foreign.
Yeah.
Right? To have guys underneath the center is a foreign thing for a lot of these players. And to your point, that might have been the first time that Davis has ever taken the ball out, from high school underneath center.
3rd and 13. Davis with a sidearm pass that is intercepted. Picked off by the South at around the 40-yard line. And stepping in front of that pass was Matthew Miller, a linebacker from Bronson High School in Florida. And Dick Bell, his proclamation at halftime that we need to stop turning the football over, well, right on cue, the North gives it away on their first drive.
There's a couple quarterback one-on-one rules, right? The first one is make sure everybody knows what to do before they break the huddle. The second one is to make sure everyone is lined up right. And the third one is take care of the football. And if you want to add a 3B to that mix is don't throw back across your body inside. That's all the defenders are in there, and you don't have the arm strength. You guys they watch Patrick Mahomes and they watch Herbert, and they throw the ball back across their body. They're not quite ready to do that at this level, and it led to an interception.
And Javion Roscoe with a good start to this drive for the South. The running back from Grissom High School in Alabama is going to gain 11 on the first snap of this drive, and the South off to a good start with a first down to the North 29-yard line.
Now, so far in the first half, the first 2 turnovers that the Team South got led to 6 points, right? Then they got the third turnover, and they actually got a touchdown off of that one. Here they are with their fourth turnover within kind of fringe red zone area. This is imperative for them. They're going to win this football game. When you're gifted these turnovers, you got to score touchdowns and not just field goals.
And here's a handoff on a sweep. Good blocking at the point of attack, and slipping through a couple of tackles is Cedric Allison with another strong run to the 21-yard line. Gains about 8 there on first down. And Allison has looked strong here in South Florida this afternoon.
Yeah, good run by the running back right there, stringing that thing out. You talk about being slow to and fast through. I want those blocks to develop. I want those things to be set up. But when they are, I have to put my foot in the ground and get north and south right now if I want to have prosperity. You saw that happen right there for an 8-yard gain. Team South moving the ball in the red zone territory. What you want to see from them coming out in the second half of that turnover.
Quinn Neiman in the shotgun here with 2 running backs and 2 receivers. Playbook open on 2nd and 3. And Neiman will drop back and pass, just dumps it off in the left flat. This is Allison who turns the corner with a first down inside the 15 and goes out of bounds down around the 10-yard line. Allison showing some pass catching ability out of the backfield and the speed to get to the edge.
Yeah, good pass. Ball out in front, makes the catch, and he says, God blessed me with a little bit more speed than he blessed you, and I'm going to use it right here. Turn the ball up the field, got a first down. Now Team South in the red zone. Let's see if they can turn it into points.
This has been a great start to the drive. Arlo Henderson, NFL veteran with the Rams, is the offensive coordinator for the South. And they have scripted out a good opening drive here in the third quarter. First down at the north 14-yard line. And a busted play here. Neiman is just trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. And it looks like he will. No gainer on first down to bring up 2nd and 10.
Some communication there. Someone turned the wrong way, whether it was quarterback or running back. But when you get this thing going, you got a good rhythm. You don't want to have those mistakes where you basically just wasted it down because of the mechanics and which way to turn and who was supposed to turn the right way or the wrong way. And you blew a play that could have ended up disastrous for you if you turned the ball over, which we saw happen earlier in the game. Hopefully they can get back, figure this thing out so they don't have that mistake again.
Things just get way more imperative down here in the red zone, don't they, Jesse? Just everything is heightened with that extra defender back there, that 12th defender in the back of the end zone. Things get a little bit more scrunched. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line. Neiman will go back to throw and will go to the end zone. Has a man in the corner, but it's incomplete, just out of the reach of Cody Roberts, who caught a touchdown earlier and had a real shot at an opportunity there, but it'll be 3rd down coming up.
Yeah, they went back to the post corner. You watch the receiver. He gets on the inside, 3 steps to the post. He gets that cornerback to bite on that, and then he breaks out to the corner just a tad outside of his reach, but a good route. Decent throw by the quarterback. If he can take a little bit off of it, you might have another touchdown for Cody Rhodes right there.
So here's a big 3rd down play for the South. 3rd and 10. They can get a first down without scoring if they get it down to about the 3-yard line of the north. They're giving some cushion on Roberts to the bottom of your screen. And Neiman will go back to throw. Looking to the left, now rolls to the left. And that pass deflected and nearly intercepted. It was actually caught by a North defensive back, but out of bounds. And so that's going to set up 4th down, and so the South will have to try for 3.
And that's the part that's been, I guess, disappointing for the South offense, is that you've been gifted 4 turnovers today and relatively close to your, 2 of them has been in the red zone, 2 of them haven't, and you've been able to not be able to get touchdowns out of them, which would have given you an opportunity to lead this game. Right now, pending this field goal, you're talking about still being down 8 points in this game.
Well, a great performance today by the South defense with the 4 takeaways, but unfortunately the offense has been unable to cash those in with touchdowns. Here, though, a 30-yard field goal up and good from Connor Gibbs, his 3rd of the afternoon. And the North still in front, 28-16 here in Tampa, just underway in the 3rd quarter. Just underway in the third quarter here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium for the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. The North still in front of the South by 12. Matthew Miller with the interception for the South, but unfortunately the South unable to get it in the end zone. They settle for a 30-yard field goal by Connor Gibbs, and now Gibbs with the ensuing kickoff into the end zone for a touchback. The North will start at its own 25-yard line. And you know, the one thing that you can say negative against the North here today, Jesse, is they have not been able to protect the football, but they have another opportunity here, and they'll have Jalon Johnson in the lineup.
And it's very rare that a team who's winning the turnover battle is losing the football game. But to the North's credit, their defense has truly stepped up and bailed their offense out after they've committed the turnovers and not allowed Team South to get into the end zone.
And on first down, Demir Asheru in as the quarterback with a play fake. And a pass across the middle is caught by Reese Music, who's on the all-name team out of Betsy Lane High School in Kentucky. That's a gain of 5 on first down.
And a big catch like that in the middle of the football field around all of the defenders, linebackers, and safety. That's music to my ears as a retired wide receiver.
It was a good job by him and a lot of traffic to hold on to that football. And now second down and about 4, and here's Johnson on the carry. Will not go down at first contact. Now breaks out of a second tackle and has a first down across the 36-yard line. This guy has the speed but also has the power to make things happen from the running back position.
You know, good running backs, we call it contact balance. It's being able to absorb the hits, still keeping your legs churning and running, and allow you to bounce off those hits and break those tackles to gain extra yards. You saw that right there on full display, and the reason why he's one of the top running backs in this game.
Asheru across the middle, and then some heavy traffic. That pass is caught. So a good job by some of these North receivers and running backs on this possession to make some tight contested catches across the middle, and that's a gain of 8.
You know, a lot of time right there for the quarterback to survey the land and see where he wants to throw the ball. He might have had a shot at the running back up the seam, but the big boys up front is giving the quarterback a lot of time to deliver the passes to where they need to go.
Johnson again on the carry and will scoot ahead a few extra yards again after first contact, get up to midfield for another first down, and Jalon Johnson starting to impose his will on this football game.
Absolutely. I'm no fortune teller, but I just have a feeling that the way that Jalon Johnson is running this football, he's due to break one open. He's due to find that crease, and when it gets to the second level, it's going to be real hard to bring him down. So he may break one. Watch for him right now to run this route out of the backfield as a receiver on this outside linebacker.
Play fake, Asheru back to throw. They're going to dump it down to Johnson in the flat, and the South does a good job to converge on him. Tackle made pretty quickly there by Brandon Beckham, a defensive lineman from Pace High School here in Florida. Gain of just about 3, and it'll bring up second down.
They've lined Jalon Johnson up in this wing formation, and he's been matched up with the linebacker. The last time they missed him down the field, they may come back to it again, but he has the advantage there.
Asheru with a quick throw across the middle, caught, first down inside the 35-yard line. Good catch and run there by Music again. 5'11", 180 pounds, and a good guy out of the slot to get the football and a few extra yards after the catch made there.
Good play by the quarterback. Snap was a little bit low, got the ball, got back up, got his eyes back up the field, threw the slant right in front of him for a first down.
So the North on the move with a good drive being put together. Asheru back to throw again on a slant. That pass is caught and held onto after a big hit. Nice catch made on that play by Trey Fazeki. Fazeki from Wiggins High School in Colorado, and made a nice catch there for a first down.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Beasley has found a rhythm. He's found something that he likes with these slant routes that he's using against, from all sides of the field. That's been very successful for them.
Johnson gets the handoff and will be brought down inside the 20 at about the 19-yard line. Gain of 3, and that's a run right there, Jesse, that most running backs, you might get back to the line of scrimmage. Johnson's so strong and powerful and savvy as a running back, just to fall forward and gain 3 on that play. And as we talk about often, to get ahead of the sticks on first down.
Yeah, powerful running back, not a big guy, and you don't see a lot of the smaller guys have that kind of power. But he's well built down low, and you can tell that those legs are strong.
They fake it to him this time. Asheru will keep it as a penalty flag comes in, and Asheru is going to be tripped up at around the 11 or 12 yard line. We'll have to wait and see what this penalty flag is about. It looked like it was thrown by the umpire in the middle of the field. Well, it might be an offensive holding or something that will cause this to come back for Team North.
It is.
Well, there haven't been a ton of penalties today aside from pre-snap penalties. We've seen several of those, but as far as live action penalties, it's been a pretty cleanly played game. That right there, though, is a big penalty against the North. It's going to move them all the way back to the 29-yard line and make it second down and about 18 or so.
And you don't have to get it all back in one play. You got enough downs where you can kind of get, play this out where you can get it back a little bit at a time.
And Asheru with a pass across the middle, a little behind the receiver, but a nice adjustment made. And the catch to about the 19-yard line. So they gain about 10 of it back right there to set up third down and about 8 coming up. And that was a really nice catch and a good throw across the middle. Team South able to wrap up quickly. Victor Clote on the reception, being looked at by several schools out of the Missouri Valley Conference. Clote is from Missouri, played at Raymond Peculiar High School. And sets up a third down and 7 for Team North with just under 10 minutes left in this third quarter. Fake handoff. Asheru trying to get the edge, and he will. It's a first down. He's at the 10. At the 5, he reaches to the pylon. Touchdown. Demir Asheru, a 20-yard touchdown run off of the fake. And the North now in front, 34-16.
RC, you talk about how Jelani Johnson was getting those tough runs, right? Those 3-yard runs, those 5-yard runs. And what ends up happening, the same thing happened earlier in the game with Davis when he was the quarterback. When you got the run game going and you're getting significant yards in the run game, what happens now is those linebackers, those safeties, all those guys begin now to cheat up and fall into that, and the quarterback can now put it inside the quarterback's, the running back's gut, pull it out, and have a bunch of running room because they committed themselves to stopping the run and not the quarterback.
Carlton's extra point is good, and the North continues its offensive dominance here in Tampa, now up 35-16. Just under 10 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Back in Tampa, 35-16, the North with the lead. Big turnover discrepancy in this game in favor of Team South, but up on the scoreboard, it's right now the North with the big lead of 19 points. And Demir Asheru, the latest quarterback to get a touchdown run off of a great play fake, and then showing the speed to get to the corner. And now the kickoff will be returned 1 yard deep out of the end zone by the South across the 20. And a nice return up to about the 22-yard line. Well, Jesse, as we take another look at Demir Asheru's touchdown run, what did you see out of him that allowed him to get to the end zone?
Well, when you watch the play fake, you see earlier in that game, Jawan Jones, he's been really good at running the football, and so everybody's converging to him, and so now when they jump to him, the quarterback then pulls it out, and he uses speed and athleticism to get around the corner, and then it's just, I'm a little bit better athlete than you, I'm going to race you to the pylon for a touchdown.
A really good, savvy play there by Asheru at the end of that run to switch the ball from his right to his left hand and reach it across the pylon for the touchdown. And so now Team South looking to respond. We're still early in this third quarter with a lot of football left to be played, and a good start to the drive as Jonathan Jackson, who's been a spark plug out of the backfield for the South, will get a first down up to the 35-yard line and a gain of 12.
And Team South have done, great jobs at different points in time of this game. Their biggest problem is when they've gotten into the red zone and they've gotten to that scoring area. Like we talked about earlier, that space is now condensed, and what the freedom that you had with the open space out in the field, you don't have in the red zone, and they've just been unable to get in there and score a touchdown. They dropped the touchdown earlier, but just overall, we haven't been doing a good job in the red zone.
From the 35-yard line, and a handoff here to Deontay Burgess, who's also been stellar out of the backfield for the South. He'll get up to about the 40-yard line for a gain of 5, as the South has put it on the ground on the first 2 plays of this possession with James McGinn as the quarterback. South under Coach Arlo Henderson being pretty creative in the running game. We've seen that Statue of Liberty type play a couple of times already in this game, just trying to make sure that the North keeps their eye integrity intact. And now second down and about 5.5. McGinn will turn and hand it off again. And one more time across the 40 up to about the 42-yard line goes Jackson. And that will set up third down and short. Third and about 2 coming up here for the South. And a really important third down as the South tries to keep this drive going, down 19 halfway through the third.
And that's some good tackling by Team North. You see it come up, make the stick, for a little gain right there, and it puts them in a situation now, 3rd and 2. Let's see what they can do offensively for Team South. Can they keep this drive alive?
McGinn is going to throw quickly to the outside, and that pass is caught for a first down. Able to connect with the receiver there to move the chains. That is Brandon Reiser out of Catawba Ridge High School in South Carolina. Just 5'10", 180 pounds, but able to use all of his frame there to shield off the defender and get the first down for Team South.
And that's what, the advantage of having 3rd and 2 is that the defense can't hold you to one thing because you have the option to do it all. That time right there, they chose to run a little hitch route, and it's complete for a first down.
There's Burgess running outside the numbers with a good carry on first down, and the South continues to methodically move the football down the field. That's a gain of 7 for Deontay Burgess. Running behind that big offensive line, Pernell Richardson, 6'4", 305 from Sandalwood High School in Florida. He's an ACC target, one of several big guys up front. Nick Kraveritis out of Katy High School in Texas, playing on the right side of that offensive line right now. He is an Emporia State commit. Burgess takes another handoff, able to get around the corner again for a first down. Down close to the North 40-yard line.
And the big boys up front, they go on my all-grocery bill team. You talk about 305 pounds. Imagine what it takes for a parent to have to be able to keep that fridge filled up for some of these kids. And think about it, like even the small kids, they eat a lot, but 305 pounds, an active kid, that's a healthy 305 pounds. The Lunchables aren't working for him anymore. You're going to need a little bit more than just little Lunchables to feed him. I sure am glad I don't have that grocery bill.
First down for Team South. Play action fake. McGinn hit as he throws. That's up in the air and intercepted. Team North right there to make the pick. Christopher Horning, linebacker out of Columbine High School in Colorado, in the right place at the right time. And McGinn maybe throwing that a little inadvised with the easy interception made there by Horning.
Yeah, as he begin to roll out left, you can kind of tell that this play doesn't have much left into it. And so, as a quarterback, you wanted to make the smart decision and either eat the football and take the sack or throw the football out of bounds, live to see another day. But he chose option 3, throw interception, and now Team North has the football back up. What do we have here? 19 points late in the third quarter.
And so now the North will take back over First down at their own 35-yard line. And Asheru is right back in there as the quarterback, trying to throw it quickly to the right side. Had a man there, but the pass off of the intended receiver's hands, incomplete, to bring up second down and 10. And I wonder, Jesse, just going back to your comment a second ago about those options, I wonder if because this is an all-star game, an All-American Bowl, option 3 just looks a little more appealing here than it maybe does in a regular football game. I'm at the home of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want to make a big play. I might take a bigger risk than I might in a normal atmosphere.
Yeah, but you know, coaches, not only do they evaluate you on your talent, they evaluate you on your decision-making, especially on the quarterback position. You want a quarterback that no matter where we're at, whether we're in Tampa Bay, at Raymond James, whether we're at the parking lot of Kroger, whether we're at anywhere, you know, at one of these universities, I need my quarterback to make smart decisions with the football at all times. And so any decision that doesn't take care of the football for you offensively will always be a decision that a quarterback, a coach, or a university would not like the quarterback to make.
I really hope they're playing flag football in the parking lot at Kroger. I'm just going to say that. Here's a throw to the outside intended for Jalen Townsend, who made that last reception for the North. This time Townsend unable to hold on. Townsend had a touchdown catch to get the scoring underway here this afternoon in Tampa, but now the North will have to punt on 4th and 5.
And that's good. That's a good job by the South defense. You know, they haven't been able to get many stops today, is the reason why the North has 35 points. But they turned the ball over offensively, and their defense came in and stepped up and got a stop for against Team North. And so now they get the ball back on a punt, and hopefully they can make a splash play right now. This is the type of moment where I need a spark. Can someone give me a spark? Can someone change the field position? Give me a play. It would be great to have a punt return back for a touchdown, but a spark right here will definitely help Team South.
This punt is going to bounce sideways at the 25-yard line and be downed at the 25, it looks like. That's where Team South will take over with 5:53 left in this third quarter. It was 28-13 at the half. The South got a field goal. They had to settle for a field goal after getting a takeaway early in this third quarter, and then a 20-yard touchdown run by Demir Asheru to put the North in front 35-16. 3 of the touchdowns for the North have come on quarterback runs today, so that's been an integral part of their offense. And now we'll see the South in the gray jerseys starting at their own 25-yard line. And Sean Fogel is going to hand off on first down. And the North there in a hurry to make the stop. Christian Barney made another tackle for the North after a gain of just 1.
You made a great point, Ryan, and the quarterback being an integral part of the offense. You see it so much now in the pro level. Look at the Philadelphia Eagles, and we talk about this as playing 11-on-11 football. A lot of times the defense will have the advantage with the pocket quarterback 10-on-11 because the quarterback is not a viable option. You see these quarterbacks today, especially on Team North, they make you play 11-on-11 football, and if you forget about them, they can go and score touchdowns for you with their legs.
Fogel is going to dump it off in the left flat. Jonathan Jackson slipping by one would-be tackler. And we'll get up to about the 32-yard line. It's going to set up a manageable third down here for the South. And to your point, Jesse, you look at the negative case of that yesterday with San Francisco. And Brock Purdy had to come back into that game in the second half. And he was really no threat at all. And you saw the dimension of that San Francisco offense just completely deteriorate when you don't have to account for the quarterback really as a passer or as a thrower. And that's one thing that the North has really done a great job of today, is use their quarterbacks in the running game. That has really led to a lot of their success. Up 19 with just over 5 minutes remaining in this third quarter. Fogel is in the shotgun. Big play here for the South, trying to keep this play or this drive going. Fogel has time here across the middle. That pass complete up to midfield. One of the more effective pass plays we've seen today out of the South is caught by Hayden Weiss, a receiver from Turlings Catholic High School in Louisiana. A gain of 16 and a first down.
You know, a lot of times you come to these All-Star games, you want to say, all right, what makes this player special? What makes that player special? What gives them the gift to come out here and play in these All-Star games like this? You saw it right there. When a quarterback can put his foot in the ground, put that back foot plants and drive the ball into the middle of the football field where a lot of guys are surrounding. The ball was almost tipped by a linebacker, put it right on the receiver. That's what's special about some of these quarterbacks, and you saw that on display right there.
Vogel again with a quick drop, and this pass is caught by Tyson Gast. Similar looking play, and Gast to the 33-yard line for a gain of 17 more in back-to-back. Really impressive looking pass plays put together by the South.
Yeah, we call that a frozen rope. He put that one on a frozen rope. The ball, again, got to the top of his drop, was very decisive, put his foot in the ground, opened up his hips, and drove that ball right into the middle of the field for a completion before the safety came down on the hit on the receiver.
So the South again moving the football well on the doorstep of the red zone here with 4:53 to play in the third. Vogel again will go back to throw. This time is going to step up and move the pocket to his left. Fires out of bounds. Just got rid of that football with the pressure bearing down on him. And he'll live to see 2nd down and 10 coming up.
And that's what you want. The quarterback, hey, there's nothing there, right? Both of your receivers are at the bottom of the screen, and you rolled out to your left. There was no other receivers out there. Throw the ball away. Live to see another down. Don't try to force that thing in there or throw back across your body into danger. Throw it out of bounds. 2nd down. We regroup. Coach calls another play. Now another opportunity with the football to go out there and make a play.
It looked like Shane Eller for the North, who was getting after the quarterback and making it tough on Vogel. Sets up 2nd and 10 at the North 33-yard line. And a handoff up the middle. This is for Javion Roscoe. Roscoe from Grissom High School in Alabama will gain 3 to set up 3rd down and 7 for the South. That's sort of been the MO pretty often today for the South. Throw on 1st down. And if it's incomplete, try to run on 2nd down to set up a 3rd and more manageable. They're putting themselves in 3rd and long pretty often today. This is 3rd down and 7. They'll have 2 receivers and 2 running backs. A 3rd receiver in the slot to the right. And Vogel back to throw. Has a clean pocket. And is going to lob one towards the end zone. What an interception is made down around the 1-yard line. What a play made right there by the North. That is Javen Sewell out of Cass Tech High School, all the way from Michigan. He's a MAC target and made a great play on the football right there.
Yeah, he's in off coverage right there. So his eyes are locked in at the quarterback. He's watching the quarterback the entire time, keeping the receiver in front of him, and he's saying, if you throw this ball over here, I'm just going to go up there and pick it off. He goes up at the highest point, gives himself an opportunity to get a touchdown. You know, from the quarterback perspective, you got to kind of see that. You got to watch the guy and say he's in off coverage. So he's watching everything that I'm doing back here, and nothing, you know, he's not worried about a fake. He's not worried about anything beating him behind him because he's already 10 yards off. And so for the quarterback, you got to find a different option to throw to.
Well, the bad news for Team North is they are backed up here, and they may not get out of their own end zone. Looks like they were just able to on that run around the right side to the half-yard line. They're going to lose about 1.5 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down. And to your point earlier, Jesse, when you run these plays out of the shotgun, you've got to gain 5 extra yards than normal. And that time, Team North just barely able to escape out of its own end zone. They do have Courtney Davis, who's a threat to run it himself from the quarterback position in the shotgun here. 2nd down from the half-yard line. Davis is going to throw. Just got rid of it, and the pass is caught across the 10, 15, 20, down the sideline. Spinning out of a tackle.
Gone.
This is going to be a 99-yard touchdown for Luke Yoder, who slipped out of a tackle at around the 40. There are no penalty flags on the field. A touchdown for Yoder, the receiver out of Fairless High School in Ohio, and he earned every bit of that 99-yard touchdown.
I want to say 99 9.5-yard touchdown right there. That was a great play, great pass from Davis to Yoder, and then Yoder did the rest. He said, listen, get me the ball, I'll figure out the rest. Breaks a tackle, runs down the sideline for 99.5-yard touchdown.
As we take a look at this, Davis had pressure bearing down on him, just barely able to get rid of it before the pressure got home. And then right around there at the 40-yard line, it was Yoder able to spin out of a tackle, and there would be no one else eligible to catch him. A 99-yard plus touchdown. And the North is putting it on the South here in Tampa. The extra point here from Michael Calton is up and good. And it's 42-16 now. Coach Dick Bell and Rodney Beasley have their team out in front as we take another look at the touchdown.
Yeah, the offensive line, gave Davis a little bit of time in the backfield to allow him. Look at the toe tapping. Allowed him to get the ball out to Yoder. He catches the ball in the flat and then takes the contact, keeps his feet in bounds, and then it's just a track meet right now from where he caught the ball at to the end zone for a 99.5-yard touchdown to give Team North a 42-16 lead with 2 minutes and 54 seconds left to go in the third quarter. If Team South doesn't start scoring some points now, this one will be put in the oven and will be done.
Well, what a performance today by the North. Courtney Davis registering his first touchdown pass of the game. He's now been responsible for 3 of the 6 touchdowns scored by the North. The first 2 with his legs, and this one a 99-yard pass and a beautifully thrown ball. Yoder able to get underneath it, and then Yoder did the rest. And now the kickoff by Michael Calton will be taken out of the end zone here by Jonathan Jackson. Sort of hesitantly, he gets to the 15. Penalty flag comes in as Jackson escapes across the 25. But there are 2 flags down on the play. And that is more than likely going against the South. Barrett Newman was in the neighborhood. Newman last night announcing that he has committed to play for Liberty University. That was at the jersey presentation ceremony last night.
Yeah, and coaches tell you on special teams, when you're on the return team, never block back into the returner. If I can see the name on the back of the jersey, then I should not be blocking him. And that's what happened right there, blocking the back. Take this back half the distance to the goal line. So now what was a solid return for Team South find themselves on the 5-yard line coming out.
That's sort of just been the story of the afternoon for the South. They've had a few things go their way. They are winning the turnover battle by a big margin, but on the scoreboard, there's a different story. And now starting probably with their worst field position of the afternoon at their own 5-yard line.
And Team South, they've done a good job moving the ball within, I guess, between the 20s, but it's when they got into the red zone and the fridge red zone area in their territories when they just kind of they frizzled out a little bit. I don't know if it was just the play calling or the mental thought process of it, but when they got into that area, they just could not figure out ways to get the ball into the end zone. And we've seen Team North have a 95-yard drive, a 99.5-yard play drive, and so now you're looking at Team South, and you got to figure something out. Like, now is the time. You got to get this thing going because this game is slipping away from you. That time is continually ticking away, and if you don't get something going right now, this will be too far out of reach for you to come back.
Javion Roscoe got that first handoff of this drive, picked up 4. Now 2nd down and 6, and the penalty flag comes in prior to the snap. And that is going to be against the offense. And so that'll move them back half the distance to the goal, bring up 2nd down and long coming up. This Team South offense has shown a few things in the running game. They put together a couple of nice plays in the passing game on their last drive, but the red zone has not been their friend today. And they're going to drop back and throw here on 2nd and long. And taking off and running is Quinn Neiman, the quarterback from Lake Minneola High School here in Florida. And he will set up a 3rd down and about 4 here for Team South after the run.
Yeah, he got some of that penalty yardage back on that run right there, giving himself now a chance on 3rd down, 3rd and 4 to go right here. You know, those type of plays with, again, the quarterback having to be the 11th man that you have to account for. When you send those receivers down the football field, it opens up some of that running room, and the quarterback with his eyes in the right place can see that, tucks it, gets what he can, and now it's 3rd and 4, much more manageable than 3rd and 13.
Now, this is a big play for the South. You do not want to punt it right back to the North, especially from where you are on the field. A 1st down here at least allows you to continue to try and flip field position with 1 minute to play here in this 3rd quarter. Neiman is going to hand off to Roscoe, and Roscoe will be brought down in the backfield. Tackle quickly made there by the North, and that is going to bring an end to the drive.
Yeah, this play was run down from the backside. You know, you're trying to get out to the left side, but that defensive lineman beat the offensive lineman across his face, ran that play down from the backside. There was nowhere for the running back to go. He tried to cut back, and that pursuit, that backside pursuit is what you teach your defenders. Hey, don't give up on the play. Even though the ball's not coming your way, he may cut it back, and he cut it back right there into the defender's hand. Tackle for loss, brings up a 4th down. Team South has to punt the ball back to Team North.
It was Royce Doherty who made that tackle. He was originally listed as an offensive lineman, but switched over to defensive line, came up with a big play there to end the drive. And speaking of ends, that's the end of the 3rd quarter here in Tampa. The North way in front of the South as we go to the 4th. Back in Tampa, where the 4th quarter will begin here in just a moment. But first, let's throw it down to Laura Sadler.
I got Stephen Hamby with me, offensive lineman. You know we got to show the big boys some love here. I want to talk a little bit about your experience. You did the Blue-Gray Combine to prepare. What did that entail, and how did that make you even more prepared for this game?
The combine was just your average combine, running your 40, how much you can bench on 225 for how many reps. But with the one-on-ones, I really learned, there's a good talent out here, and they really pushed me, to get better so I could come here and play. And it was just, there were some good people there.
It may be hard for people to realize this, but you guys have only practiced 6 hours together. That's it. Has it been easy to come together as a team because of the level of talent, or has it still presented its challenges?
The first day, that was difficult. Getting new plays, learning your people, it was just, it's hard. But the second day, I think we just got better every day. Like Coach said, every day you got to get better. And that second day, we were working like clockwork, and now, as you can see with the score, we're doing pretty well.
Doing very well indeed. Well, good luck with the rest of this game.
Thank you, ma'am.
And we're going to go off script. We have a special hello from Denmark.
Hi, my name is Victor. I want to give a special shout out to my family and friends watching back home. I love you guys. Yeah, älskar mig mal. Go Team North. Thank you. Thank you.
We are international here at the Blue-Gray Bowl game. We'll send it back up to you, Ryan and Jesse.
All right, Laura, what a pleasant surprise. Victor Rasmussen, all the way from Denmark, playing offensive line for Team North. He's from Diamond Academy in Texas. Got a chance to speak with him last night at the jersey presentation ceremony. Really nice young man, and glad to have him here at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. While we were downstairs with Laura, you won't believe it, but the South got a takeaway on a muffed punt. It's their 5th takeaway of the game, and so they have the football back, driving at the North 21-yard line, and a 1st down carry just picked up by the North. Julius Pascal made the recovery. And so the South with the football back at the North 21.
I got to be honest with you, RC. I don't think I've ever been a part of a football game where one team turned the ball over 5 or 6 times, and they've had almost a 20-point lead. I don't think I've ever been a part of over a 20-point lead. I don't think I've ever been a part of a game where that's happened. This is a unique situation where, Team North has turned the ball over that many times in the course of a football game, but lead the football game 42-16.
They've only punted twice today. Every possession for the North is ending either in points or turnovers. And you're right. I've never seen that either. Just more evidence that you just never know what you're going to see when you show up to the stadium. A wild game here so far in Tampa, just underway in the fourth quarter. And back to throw is James McGinn. Tries to dump it off and does to Deontay Burgess. And Burgess sidesteps a few defenders. Still on his feet inside the 10 and reaches down for the 7-yard line. A good, strong run after the catch by Deontay Burgess sets up 1st and goal for the South.
And to go back to Laura's special shout-out, it just tells you how far the game of football has come and the reach that the game of football has had. We're talking about from Denmark. Like, you don't think about football being a popular sport in Denmark, but this thing has begun to reach places and levels worldwide. When I was coming up, you didn't hear about football being in all these places, and now, with social media and the internet and all that kind of stuff, you see that football has now a global reach, and more kids are taking on football as an extracurricular activity.
There's a handoff to Burgess, and he's going to be dropped for a loss back to the 9-yard line as the North got into the backfield quickly there. And I wonder what contribution the NFL has had to that also, being intentional about playing games overseas in Europe. We've seen first in London, now in Germany. They've played games in Mexico City as well. So the NFL is consciously trying to make this an international game.
No, absolutely. I think they're trying to follow suit to what the NBA did with their game nationally. Back in the early 90s, talk about the dream team, where the basketball began to travel abroad and it really started kind of getting the popularity of basketball to grow. And now the NFL is beginning to do the same thing with putting these football games in all these different countries and allowing the game to grow and flourish, and the game to be seen and enjoyed by people outside of the United States of America.
The South will keep it on the ground again and going to lose another yard back to the 10-yard line. So 3rd and goal coming up. And again, we see the enemy of the South team here today. That has been the red zone. Eli Farmer got that last carry and lost a yard. And now a pretty obvious passing situation. 3rd and goal back at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, it seems like every time they get into the red zone, that condensed part of the football field with that 12th defender being the back of the end zone, that Team South has really been struggling to get the ball in the end zone. They need to score. They need to score fast because this game and that clock is against them.
James McGinn will throw on 3rd and goal. Rolls to his right and just has to throw the ball out of bounds. Had no receivers on that side of the field, and so once again, Team South will have to settle for a field goal try. So here comes the field goal unit led by Connor Gibbs, the kicker from Country Day High School in Louisiana. Gibbs has been good on all but one of his attempts so far today, is a 3 out of 4. And this will be a 27-yard attempt. He's been good from 23 and 25 and from 30 so far today. And the kick by Gibbs is good. And that will move the score now to the North 42 and the South 19, just underway in this fourth quarter.
It's a great debut for Gibbs. Every time they've gotten to the red zone, he's had to come out there and kick field goals. He's done a great job in doing that. I wish he was kicking extra points. I think Team South will wish he was kicking extra points instead of field goal, because they've gotten into the red zone many times with all of the turnovers from Team North. They just seem to cannot get into the end zone, and that's kind of hurt them this today in this ball game, not being able to turn those interceptions over to touchdowns.
Taking a great look right now at Anthony Giuliano, the special teams coordinator for the North team. He's from Coles Kicking. Does a great job each and every time we have one of these blue-gray All-American Bowls. Each of our specialists is a part of Coles Kicking and receives specialized training and is able to attend those combines with that organization. And Anthony is a big part of the blue-gray family. And getting his return unit ready here to take this ensuing kickoff with 13:12 remaining in this fourth quarter. By the way, you may have noticed that each of our quarters today have begun with 16 minutes. And if you're new to the blue-gray experience, we can explain that to you as Gibbs sends the kickoff out the back of the end zone for a touchback. That is a trademark of owner and CEO of blue-gray football, Gus Bell. And the thinking behind the 16-minute quarters is simply to get more opportunities to the student athletes who participate in this game to get something positive on film. And that just speaks to the heart of Mr. Bell and this entire organization from the top to the bottom. This is about student athletes and their futures, and just something unique about this blue-gray All-American Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you also notice that there's always rotation. Every single series is a new rotation of guys. So every kid is getting an opportunity to play ample amount of time. So they're making sure that every kid is getting an opportunity to be looked at, to be evaluated, to be scouted, and given a fair shot and opportunity to earn themselves a scholarship on the next level.
Courtney Davis in as the quarterback here for Team North, and he hands it off on first down to Trey Corbin III, and a gain of 3 up to about the 27-yard line, maybe the 28. Well, Team North, with Courtney Davis at the controls, has been lethal offensively. 2 touchdown runs by Davis, a 99-yard touchdown pass from Davis to Luke Yoder. Demir Asheru has been the other quarterback who's provided a lot of production for Team North. Davis comes under center here, 7-step drop across the middle with a man open, but the pass incomplete. Looking for Corbin out of the backfield, and a penalty flag is down in the pocket.
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be another offensive holding by the lineman of Team North. It's going to come back 10 yards and be second and probably 12. Quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes, for guys up front, the offensive linemen, it gets difficult when you have a mobile quarterback because you're always trying to figure out where is he at behind me. There's a clock going off in your head. 1,000, 2,000, is the ball out? And then you have a mobile quarterback in the back. He extends plays, and sometimes he's at your left, sometimes he's to your right. And so as that defender begins now to disengage, if you're holding on to that jersey or holding on to those shoulder pads, it makes for an easy call for the referee to call holding, but sometimes that goes on the quarterback because just being mobile can throw those offensive linemen off key when they're trying to block for you.
A couple of guys of note down on that defensive line right now for Team South. Xavier Perkins, number 51 out of Berkeley Prep in Florida, has over 10+ FBS offers to play at the next level. Here's a screen to the left, and that is dropped and incomplete. They were looking to get Victor Clote involved in the offense. It'll set up 3rd down and 17. And then playing on the interior of that defensive line is Cade George out of Alatoona High School in Georgia. And tomorrow is his 18th birthday. So happy early birthday to Cade George. What a way to spend your 18th birthday here in Tampa.
Absolutely. Happy birthday, young fella. What it is to be 18 years old again. Do you know what I was doing at 18 years old?
Oh, you don't. I don't even want to know.
It's probably best. It's a family show. It's a family show, and they don't need to know what I was doing at 18.
3rd down and 17, and this is going to be a delay of game penalty against the North. They were not set and ready to take that snap.
Oh, it looks like
did they get a timeout first?
Yeah.
Okay, so a timeout first by Team North. Well, the North in control, 42-19. Still early in this fourth quarter. We're going to return to Tampa here in just a moment for 3rd and 17. Live look at beautiful Tampa, 82 degrees here in South Florida this afternoon at the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Raymond James Stadium, the site of today's contest. On just a beautiful afternoon for some high school football. And as we come out of the timeout, 3rd and 17 here for the North. Courtney Davis with the pass deflected down at the line of scrimmage. And getting in there and getting a hand on it was the almost 18-year-old Cade George. He puts an end to the drive, and Team North will have to punt. Well, 42-19, the South with a lot of catching up to do. Still 12-15 left in this game. But you'd love to see something good happen on special teams if you're Coach Ken Stills. Maybe they can get a good return here. See if they...
Don't be shocked by right now in this return. You don't see some sort of trick play. You know, sometimes that, roll one way, throw back right. They need a spark. Team South right now needs something good for them to happen. So take everything into account when you're looking at this return for Team South.
And penalty flags in before the snap. It's against the North, so they're going to have to back up even further here. The punter, Daniel Deneen, was already standing just outside of his own end zone, so he may now have to step over the goal line and set up inside the end zone, and that's exactly what's going to have to happen. So a really good opportunity here for the South to get some good field position. Aaron Jackson and Jonathan Jackson back deep to return. And the punt is short. Jackson will let it check up and roll out to midfield. So pretty good effort there by Deneen, but the South will start at midfield with just over 12 minutes left in this fourth quarter, I should say.
Yeah, that punt was partially blocked by Perkins. 51 got inside and got his hand on that ball a little bit, and that punt was partially blocked. But, still great field position. Team South gets the ball back at the 50-yard line with an opportunity to go get some points. They got to get points right here. Every possession that Team South gets the football and they don't score a touchdown is a possession, to me, at this point in time of the game, wasted. You gotta exalt all of the options that you have in that playbook to get points on the board.
Sean Fogle will be in as the quarterback for the South. And a dump down to the left flat to Jonathan Jackson, and Jackson is going to be pile-drived to the turf. Tackle was made by Christopher Horning, and I think that's going to cost the North 15 yards.
Yeah, this is the Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. This isn't the WWE Royal Rumble, and I know that gets a lot of praise and excitement from the team, but that's a 15-yard penalty every single time. And for a team that's looking for a spark, looking for some added yardage, you don't want to give a free 15 yards up. It doesn't matter what the score is. Make the tackle. The power drive game, it's not wrestling. That doesn't fly at any level, high school, college, or the pros. That's going to be a 15-yard penalty every single time, and now you've given the South an opportunity to get closer to the red zone, which, might I add, Ryan, might not be a bad strategy. If I'm Team North, I'll say to myself, let them get into the red zone because they've gotten there all day and couldn't get into the end zone.
Yeah, they have not shown the ability to do much once they get inside the 20. Fogle back to throw. Across the middle, that pass might have been partially tipped. He was looking on a deep cross for one of his receivers, but it'll be incomplete and bring up 2nd down and 10. And really that penalty, going back to the penalty against the North, it really turns into about a 19 or 20-yard penalty because it was going to be a loss on that play of about 4 or 5. So you're really talking about giving the other team 20 extra yards of field position, a team that you're trying to close out that hasn't been very successful on offense today. And now the South with a little bit of life. Ryan Smith, by the way, was the intended receiver there, the tight end, who is lined up in the slot on the right. Play fake for Fogle, who will roll to his right, dumps it off into the flat for Farmer, and Farmer will have a 1st down inside the 30. Good run after the short throw and catch. Farmer from Clover High School in South Carolina, and he moves the chains for the South.
Yeah, and in addition to that last play, where we had the power drive, one, it's a bad play. It's a penalty, and you give up those penalty yards. But two, trying to keep the game safe. When you do that power drive type of move, the defender has no way of really bracing itself for that fall. And we see a lot of times where those heads get snapped back and you hit your head on the turf, and now concussions are formed that way. So just taking care of one another, in the realm of playing good, aggressive football, not looking to have power drives like that.
And Fogel is going to go down and be sacked. Back at around the 33-yard line. That will set up second down and long, and we'll take this opportunity to go downstairs to Laura.
I have Barrett Newman from the South team here with us, and I hear a congratulations is in order. You have recently committed to Liberty. Tell us what led to that decision.
Man, it's just a great place. It's a great place to grow my faith. Football team's pretty good. It's just a great community. And, I think I can go there and make an impact, help them out.
Your coach here, Ken Stills, had a lot of great things to say about you. He described you as a guy with a high football IQ. You're coachable, you hustle. What does that type of spotlight mean for you from an NFL veteran?
Oh, it's just an honor, to hear that from him. Such a great player, and, with all the history he's had. And, it's just an honor to hear that. It's going to help me in my game in the future. It really gives me a lot of confidence going into college. So, I really appreciate that. And this whole experience has just been amazing, man. I love Tampa, love being here, love all my coaches.
Well, congratulations again for your commit, and good luck in the future.
Thank you. Go Flames.
We'll send it back up.
Okay, thanks, Laura. Barrett Newman recently committed to Liberty University, and Hayden Weiss recently into the end zone for Team South off this touchdown reception from Sean Vogel. Beautifully thrown ball, and the extra point for Connor Gibbs is up and good. And so for the second time today, Team South finds the end zone on a touchdown pass, this time from Fogel to Hayden Weiss. 42-26 here at Tampa Bay's Raymond James Stadium. We will be back right after this. .49 left in the fourth quarter here in Tampa. The Blue-Gray All-American Bowl. Ryan Castle and Jesse Holly enjoying what you're looking at on the screen right now. Beautiful sunny day, warm temperatures here in South Florida. And the kickoff by the South. Here comes the return, and across the 25-yard line up to about the 28-yard line. As we take a look at the touchdown once again, Sean Fogel finding Hayden Weiss on this touchdown throw. And Weiss was able to get by the defender and get into the end zone for the second South touchdown of the afternoon. A beautifully thrown ball by Fogel. And so now the North still up by 16 with 10:44 left. Still a lot of football left to be played here inside Raymond James Stadium. And Demir Asheru will be the quarterback. First down option pitch to the right. And a nice run across the 30 to turn what looked like might be a loss into some positive yardage. Jake Gill, the running back from Norwayne High School in Ohio, with a gain of 2.
And for Team North right now, you just think about protecting the football, right? 5 points of pressure. If I'm a running back, 2 hands on the football when contact gets near, trying to fight for extra yards. That's not needed at this point in time, because now the defenders are going to be trying to come, knock the ball out, strip the ball out. They need to turn the football over really bad. So protect the football with 2 hands when contacts get there. And for the quarterback, if it's not open, don't force it. Throw it out of bounds, take the sack. It's okay to punt the ball away right now. You don't want to give them a turnover in plus territory.
And I'll add to that list, Jesse, don't commit penalties.
Yes.
Unfortunately, Team North just did. Holding against the offense is the call. So wipe off that run by Gill. Would have been 3rd down and a couple. Instead, it's going to be 2nd down and about 16 or 17 coming up. Just right at 10 minutes remaining in the football game. And you're right, if you're Team South, you're just looking for a stop. You'd love a takeaway. If you could get your 6th of the game, that would be ideal. But really, if you can just force a 3 and out, that would be okay too. And they're off to a good start. They've backed up Team North to 2nd and 18. Asheru in the gun with 2 running backs. And they're going to go to the air here on 2nd and long across the middle, and nearly a completion. I'm not sure who exactly that was intended for. It looked like it might have gone over the head of the intended receiver, but Jalen Townsend on the back end there, Jesse, nearly made the catch.
Yeah, but again, those are one of those plays right there where, as a quarterback, give me the safe throw, right? Give me the safe throw. Make a throw that I can complete to keep the change moving. Now you're talking about 3rd and 18 and the clock is stopped. That's the last thing that you want for Team South is for the clock to be stopped. You're down, in the change, 3rd and 18. So just take the safe throw, get positive yardage, keep that clock rolling so that they have to use their timeouts or start thinking about using timeouts at some point in time in this game.
Asheru's going to throw again on 3rd and long, escapes out of the pocket, and now will take off himself and will have a 1st down across the 38-yard line. What a run by Demir Asheru on 3rd down and 18, able to pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, this is a great play, and it's a smart play. I don't want to throw the ball in the harm's way. I have a lot of running room. I set the defender up, and I just use my speed to beat him to the outside. Pick up a 3rd down on 3rd and 18. That's a backbreaker for Team South defense. When you think you got him stopped and you think you got him held back, and you give up an 18-yard scramble to the quarterback.
Team North continuing to get in its own way here. Another false start penalty to bring up 1st and 15. Well, what a run by Asheru to keep this drive going. Like you just said, Jesse, Team South on the precipice of probably getting the football back, and instead, more time's going to come off the clock, and your defense has to be out there and expend valuable energy for a little while longer. 1st and 15, handoff up the middle, and no room to run there. Mason Bowman got the carry and got about a yard up to the 36-yard line.
And if I'm Team South, again, every time the running back gets the ball, I'm trying to strip it. I'm trying to rip it out. I'm trying to peanut punch it, out of the running back's hands and make sure that they're always securing the football, because I need turnovers. I need the ball back in any way, shape, or form. So if they're going to run the football, then I need 11 guys to the football. First guy tackle, hold him up. Next guy come in, try to punch or strip the ball out.
Asheru with a nice touch pass to the left sideline. That is caught near a 1st down. Catch made by Victor Clote, I believe. And that is, well, let's wait and see. Yeah, we had a penalty flag down on the play, so this is going to be coming back. It's another holding against the North.
This game, I love football. Football has been good to Jesse Holley and his family. But this is one of those games where football sometimes can be so confusing, where a team leads in turnovers, a team leads in penalties, has a 20-point lead. As a whatever the lead is, 19 point, whatever the lead is, it just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense for Team North to be up this amount of points with the amount of turns they've had and the amount of penalties that they've committed.
Asheru will throw to the near side. That pass is caught. Torrance Washington with the catch. Short gain up to about the 30-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and very long here, and another opportunity for the South to get off of the field. They're going to bring in a fresh unit here on 3rd down. 16-point lead for the North, and you're right, this game has been every bit of puzzling with the way it has transpired here this afternoon.
And for Team South, you got to remember that you have an athletic quarterback that you're going up against, so don't allow him to scramble. Rush lanes have to be intact, have integrity. Defensive ends, rush up the field, keep your containment. You want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. If he breaks containment, now you're looking at him being able to use athletic ability, and you probably don't have the linebackers to stay with them.
We're going to take a look at some of the turnovers that we've witnessed here today. The South has numerous takeaways. Unfortunately, they just haven't been able to cash those in for touchdowns, but it's been all varieties. It's been interceptions, fumble returns, muffed punts. This Alec Hall interception nearly led to a defensive score. The South would finish that drive with a field goal. And then right here, another interception of Demir Asheru, just an ill-advised throw that was picked off easily. Again, though, the South having to settle for a field goal. And right here, the South giving it away themselves on another ill-advised throw, and the interception by Horning. So the quarterbacks have been maybe a little more aggressive than we typically see in these blue-gray All-American Bowls. There's one of two muffed punts that the North has committed today. Here's Asheru on 3rd down and 20, and this time he will not be able to scramble for a first down. Alec Hall and Timothy Caston able to force him out of bounds.
And there'll probably be another penalty on Team North for blocking the back. If I'm Team South, I decline this penalty, get the 4th down, and allow them to have to punt the ball to us.
And that's exactly, as you just said, Jesse, how it transpired. So 7:27 left in the football game. It's a 2-score game. The South needs 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions to tie it. And still plenty of time if they can get some big plays for that to be accomplished. Daniel Deneen will come on and punt. Jonathan Jackson and Aaron Jackson back deep to return.
As a special teams coordinator, you got to remind your punt team, stay in your lanes, stay in your lanes, stay in your lanes, because right now, Team South, they need a play. So anything is up for grabs with looking for a trick play or anything like that. Stay in your lanes, rush. What a great
Look
punt.
at this punt. It will bounce at the 15. Punt. It's going to be fielded by Aaron Jackson at the 5. And Jackson will do what he can, get back to about the 15-yard line. That is a 56-yard net on that punt by Daniel Deneen, easily his best effort of the game. And so the South, unfortunately for them, not going to get near the starting field position that they hoped for because of Deneen's great effort in the punting game.
And see, these are the type of things we talk about, special teams being special. Deneen, he won't get credit. He won't be in the highlight package. He won't be talked about on the networks, all those things. But a 57-yard net punt has now backed up Team South. Again, they're looking for a short field. They want to be able to make a play. Now they have to drive the ball 85 yards to pay dirt to get a touchdown. Well, that's a great punt from Team North to back Team South up.
Quinn Neiman, the quarterback, will throw quickly to the right side. That is caught. Not much of a gain, though. The South is going to need big plays in chunks. But that catch by Kevin Coggins, the receiver from Seminole Ridge High School in Florida, goes for 3 or 4. It'll bring up 2nd down, and Team South going as quickly as they can. Neiman again will throw. That is caught. And the catch made by George Sarukis from Tarpon Springs here in Florida. Interesting play there by the defensive back to try to go for the interception instead of just keeping Sarukis in front of him. Allows Sarukis to get the 1st down.
Greed will get us all. That's what happened right there. DV thought he read that, was trying to get an interception, and didn't get it. Good throw by the quarterback, getting the ball on the outside to the receiver. Turned up, made a big play up the field.
So 1st down at the 32-yard line. Clock winding down near 5 minutes now. And a handoff. Questionable mesh point there between the quarterback and the running back, and Cedric Allison will gain 2 up to the 34-yard line. Actually, it was Eli Farmer, I beg your pardon, on that carry. And it's going to bring up 2nd down and 8. And if you're the South, you have to wonder right now just how many more times can we run the football.
Yeah.
This has got to become passing situations here pretty quickly. Down by 16 with 4.5 to play. 2nd down and 8. Neiman straight back to throw. And we'll try to go to the outside. That pass is going to be caught for a 1st down into North Territory at the 44-yard line. Great catch made by Tyson Gast, number 2 out of Lake Gibson High School here in Florida. He just posted up the defender there, Jesse.
Yeah, high point the football, go up there and get it. We have a saying sometimes, you see in the NFL, hey, he's down there somewhere. He throws it up and the receiver bailed him out with a great catch.
Here's a throw across the middle. Cody Roberts, who had a touchdown catch earlier, with a sliding grab here at the 35-yard line. 3:50 to play, and the South moving quickly.
This game is not over. You're talking about two scores right now. 2 scores and 2 extra two-point conversions give you an opportunity to be back in this football game. Team North, they can't fall asleep. They can't be complacent because Team South is driving the ball down the football field.
And Neiman going to try to get what he can with his legs. A couple of penalty flags fly in here. And this is in the area of offensive holding. That would be a drive killer at this point. Time is not the ally of Team South. And that penalty, as you see, is against the South. It will move them back 10 yards.
Yeah, you can't have penalties at this point in time when you're trying to, create scores. And that's been the biggest thing that this team has been dealing with. And now it's a little bit of, talking back and forth between the guys right there. Team South and Team West, Team South and Team North going back and forth with one another. And it's always good when you can point to the scoreboard and say,
hey,
we're
guys,
winning.
I have a couple North players I'm going to talk to. Let's start here with J.J. Sewell. You guys are coming together as a team as if you played together for a long time. What do you have to say about this group of guys and what you've managed to do today?
It's really practice. We took the opportunity to practice, get to know each other, get the feel of each other and how we act and what we do. And even though we all around the North, we still had a lot of common. It's snowy, so we can relate off that. And we just kind of bonded, and the coaches helped us bond together, and it really worked out at the end time.
Awesome. And then Jelon Johnson here. How have you walked away from this experience a better player?
I feel like it was great. It really brought all of us together, and it taught us how to play with people that we'd never played with before. So it was a good experience, all coming together, and we only had 2 days to practice. So we all came together and we worked. So that was good.
You guys have definitely put some work in, and I have to mention both of these guys have not committed to a school yet. So any scouts watching, be sure to roll back the tape and take a look at these two.
All right, thanks, Laura. Javen Sewell and Jelon Johnson. They're going to play somewhere. There's no question about that. Both very talented football players. And the timeout at the 3:08 mark of this 4th quarter for the South is their 2nd charged timeout of the half. So they are down to 1 timeout remaining. Down by 16, and then here's 1st and 20 after the holding penalty. Neiman back to throw, is going to step up into the pocket, trying to go deep down the field to Roberts, and Roberts nearly able to stick out his left hand and snag that catch. But it falls to the grass incomplete, and it will bring up 2nd down. So a shot taken down the field there by Neiman, but Roberts just unable to haul in that catch. And so it'll be 2nd down. And about 22 here. They're a little further back than 20. That penalty must have happened in the backfield. And so now Neiman back to throw, 2nd down and long. Rolls the pocket off to his left. Crosses the line of scrimmage, so just has to run it himself, and gets to about the 42-yard line. And you can see the competitive nature and spirit of both teams starting to shine out just a little bit here as we wind this football game down. It's going to be 3rd down and long here for the South. You would imagine this is 4-down territory. It's going to be 3rd and 16. And they just called, I believe, for their final timeout of the game.
Well, I think we got to the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning in the 4th quarter. And you're right, to what you talked about earlier. People want to win this football game. The athletes want to win the football game. The coaches want to win the football game. This is bragging rights, right? This is our last game of the year. So these coaches, they got a little bit of bragging rights when they win this football game and say, you know, I'll see you guys next year. We'll come together next year. But just know, in Tampa in 2023, we took you down.
And both teams still having fun out there. Even though you lose the football game, it's still an experience, still something to remember for the rest of your life. And, you know, we talk about this often, but some of these student athletes may not go on to play college football. And if that's the case, you just think about the story of being able to sit your son or your daughter or grandson or granddaughter down and say, hey, look at that stadium. I played there. NFL players played there, and so did I. That is such a cool thing to be able to talk about. As Neiman's pass, actually, that is James McGinn. They inserted McGinn here in the middle of the series. That pass off of the hands of Eli Farmer incomplete, so it'll be 4th and 16. And with about 1.5 minutes remaining in this game, the South will elect to go for it here on 4th and 16.
If I'm Team North defensively, I'm saying, hey, nothing gets behind you. Be deeper than the defense. We're not trying to get an interception. We just can't go up the 1st down right here.
McGinn rolling to his right, has a man. That pass is caught and going to be short of a 1st down. The receiver right there, Hayden Weiss, who caught a touchdown earlier, got back to the original line of scrimmage, but still well shy of a 1st down. And so Team North is going to take over. And Jesse, that's going to just about do it for this football game here this afternoon at Raymond James Stadium. The North, in a wild game, is going to wind up winning this by double digits.
Yeah, a wild game. Like we talked about earlier, they had more penalties, they had more turnovers than Team South, and somehow, some way, they got a 16-point victory out of this one. A wild and bizarre game, but very competitive, very spirited. We saw a lot of great athletes out here today showcase their talent, and you know, my hope is that as many as possible will find their way to a college roster.
Courtney Davis and Demir Asheru, the stories for the North. Courtney Davis responsible for 3 touchdowns. Asheru responsible for 2. And the North beats the South today 42-26. Jesse, final thoughts here from Tampa?
Man, it's always great to watch these young student athletes out here playing this great game of football. You know, football has done so much for me and my life and my family, and to know that these young men have taken a love for this game and trying to live this dream of playing at the next level, and to be able to watch these young men from a distance doing it, it's absolutely phenomenal. And I hope and pray as many of them as possible get an opportunity to go to the next level and enjoy the experiences that I did from this great game of football.
So for Laura Sadler and Jesse Holly, I'm Ryan Castle saying so long from Tampa, where the final score is North 42, South 26. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.